There it is. Yo, what up, fools? What is going down? Welcome in. Most underrated podcast. You already know the homies Dow Palantonio, Jalal, the producer, hanging out with me as well. What is going down, fellas? Happy 420 to everybody that partakes. Actually, literally happy 420 on the West Coast right now.
Was that planned?
It's like we did it on purpose.
we could just say it was on purpose.
Wicked.
Yeah, it was totally my fault. I forgot to schedule the stream. And probably because I got high. Like Dal said, that was singing Afro Man before the show. Hopefully that's not in my head the rest of the show.
That's a great jam. I'm just saying.
Have you ever seen that guy live?
No, I heard he's the worst. Remember, dude, he was at a concert and he punched a lady. That was kind of the demise of Afro Man.
That was like the latest, yeah.
Maybe
that might have been as recently as like 2010, dude, 2012.
It's a long time ago. It was for sure, man.
I mean, that's long, but it's not that long ago. 8 years.
Yeah. Well,
it's not
I don't
long
know.
For assault.
8 to 10.
Well, what I was going to say is if we're speaking in Corona terms, that's long as shit.
Yeah.
You know?
True. Yeah, if we're in those
I'm just
terms.
saying. I mean, everything's long. Like these days are stupid long. Hate them.
What's new, bro? What's going on over there? We don't talk much during the week except for the show.
That is true. Yesterday, I don't know. Yes, I'm sure you did see it actually, but yeah, man, your social media got me inspired. I saw you riding PVC, and I thought
that was sick.
That looks fun. I'd like to be a part of that. And you were you were your own camera guy as well, which I thought was super sick. So I was like, what are my talents? Shit, really don't have any. So I was like, where's my BMX bike? I said, Robin, come outside with me real quick. So we have a shitload of like Amazon boxes because we recycle, right? And we don't want to keep the Rona boxes inside the house. So we keep them right on the porch stacked up. So I was like, all right, Robin, you go ahead and pick out a couple boxes there for me. She's like, what, babe? What do you mean? I'm just like, pick out a couple boxes. And sure as shit, we narrowed it down to like 2 or 3. And I started fucking just bunny hopping those boxes, destroyed a couple obviously because I was a little
rusty.
Dude, rusty for sure.
Yeah, a little Rusty Wallace.
More like crusty for sure. Like it was bad. But like people say, it's like riding a bicycle, man. You figure it out in those movements and got it figured out. And she took some pretty sick shots, I thought, and I was like, shit, man, I better post it on my story, man. I'm just I got to keep up with franchise. Old TTF over there, I can't have him show me up too much, but
I'm going out every morning. I'm going out every morning from now on rollerblading just because it's such a great cardio workout. I didn't realize the level of shape I was in my youth when I rollerbladed. Because, dude, I used to skate from my house to the park. We'd hit the skate park for 3-4 hours, and then we'd skate back home. So on the way to the park, it was all downhill. It was dope. But then going home, it was just like this ridiculous uphill, and it sucked. But I just did it every day with ease, like in the summers and shit. So it's just, I was out there the other day or out there yesterday, and I woke up this morning just super sore. My core, dude, my side, my arms from like doing this, jumping up on the ledges and, all that, my core, my everything, all that area is so sore today. So I went out again this morning. I was like, let me just go hit it again for another hour and a half or so. Yeah, dude. And that's literally like right by my house, this huge empty parking lot. And this trail, they got this PVC pipe down there that I was able to just kind of throw some wax on and slide. It's great, dude. Wonderful.
That's tight. You mentioned soreness, dude. My wrists are so sore. Obviously, right from when you're jerking that bike up, and then obviously you're coming down. The impact, dude. My wrists. I mean, I can't remember them being this sore ever. I think this type of soreness was probably like the first time I ever snowboarded. Remember when you snowboard the first time? You're on your asshole all day, and your sphincter just like burns because you've landed on it all day, and your wrists. Man, dude, my wrists are burnt today. Like there was no way I could have a little Dallas time, if you know what I mean, in the bathroom. There was just no way. Okay, my wrists are too sore.
Dude, my wrist has kind of been banged up from rollerblading way back in the day. So if I fall on it, I'm sure I'm going to get that back instantly.
Oh yeah.
But one thing I did get back instantly, ankle. I've had an ankle problem, my right ankle, for a long time. Both my ankles are kind of messed up, but my right ankle's really been messed up for some years. And immediately, like, that just came back, that ankle soreness and that popping. And it's just like, I'm going to probably have to go get it cleaned out sometime within the next 10 years. At some point. That's why I kind of stopped playing. I was playing in like a ton of flag football leagues, and I sprained it really bad on turf one time, and it just hasn't been the same since. Now, obviously skating probably wasn't the greatest on it over the years and stuff like that, but I still want to do it. So I'm just trying to do it at a level that is fun. If I can skate at a level where I can just have fun and use it more for cardio and just getting out and just stuff like that. But it's just hard not to, it's hard not to throw on the skates and just, you have the memories of what you used to be able to do and how easy you used to be able to do it. And so it's so hard. The competitor in me doesn't want to give that up. It doesn't want, I still want to be able to throw those tricks like I did yesterday, as easy as I could yesterday, or not, figuratively speaking, not really yesterday, but back in the day. And it's really, really hard. It's so funny, dude. I went, not to go on a tangent, but I just went on this crazy, I've been on this crazy, like, YouTube hole of old skate sections that I used to watch religiously to get pumped up to go skate, and just like looking up these old rollerbladers and like, damn, what are these people doing now? Because it was so intriguing to me and so fascinating. I would find these little podcasts where like, oh, so Aaron Feinberg was on this podcast, or so-and-so was on here, Brian Shima, John Elliott, Dustin Latimer. What are these guys up to? And I went down this huge rabbit hole, and it was just crazy to me to think about, because I was trying to explain to my girl, these guys were at the top of their sport, dude. In the late 90s, early 2000s, they were at the top of a sport that was booming and thriving, and they were as big as any skateboarders, BMXers, whatever in that industry. And how do you go from being somebody and such a superstar, and I'm not saying you're making crazy money, but you're making okay money,
sure,
to nothing? Literally, the bottom falls out of the rollerblading industry. You go from this level of stardom and fame to now working an IT job, and nobody even knows who you are. And all the people you work with aren't young enough to know who you are. They don't even understand what aggressive rollerblading. It would take longer for you to try to explain to them what aggressive rollerblading is than is what it's worth. And so at that point, you're just back at the bottom. And it's almost like and I struggled with that musically, dude, because I did music for so long in my 20s, from my teens into my 20s, that once I stopped, just started writing songs and stopped being an artist and stopped doing performing and all that, it was very hard for my identity. Like, it was really hard on me identity wise. And it was just, I just got fascinated with these rollerbladers, because in an industry where it just fell apart so quickly like that, and everything, it's just like, damn, where did they all go? What are they all doing now? What happened to all of them, So that's what I've been doing, man. Rollerblading and looking up old rollerblading shit from my childhood and getting, just figuring out what's going on.
That's kind of interesting, and I think you bring up an interesting point that, like, literally that industry really completely fell off. Skateboarding, there's been years and there's been time frames where it's been more popular than not. But I would say skateboarding is, I mean, you could argue that in the late 80s, early 90s, it was at its peak and its prime. But my argument to that was skaters weren't getting paid shit. Endorsement deals weren't shit. Like, you were literally, it was almost like the WWE and WWF stars, right? You were in vans together and you were traveling and everybody was eating each other's farts and shit. And it was like just packing in like a bunch of sardines and just trying to just actually more just enjoying the sport and enjoying the life and trying to make it bigger than what it was. Now you look at, I mean, Red Bull, you look at all these major sponsors, you look at the amount of money that's in the skateboard industry, for example, dude, it's huge. It's at its peak, in my opinion.
And those guys can still live off of it. That's what I was telling my girl too, is
they can.
All these guys, they so many skateboarders that made a name in skateboarding, they're either still living off skateboarding or they're living off the name they made in skateboarding in another industry. Rollerbladers don't have that, dude. They were like that, and then they were just gone. They're just ghosted.
I mean, just like that. And then, the extreme industry, ESPN still allows, obviously with the X Games, still relevancy with extreme sports. But again, because of rollerblading, it's just not able to be in that comparison because of how it dropped off and fell off and really didn't exist aside from fitness and like roller hockey, some of those things that you would do with your, local neighborhood or you do with the YMCA. But, like BMXing has been able to it's been salvaged obviously because it's still a part of the X Games and it's still relevant. But going back to what you said with some of these super super highly prolific relevant rollerbladers at the time going from like hero to zero,
and they beat the shit out of their bodies just like skateboarders did,
for
you know what
sure.
I mean?
And then
So
you
it's
look
like
at
you're no longer getting paid off that. You did all that and there's no residual. You're not getting paid off those skate parts. You're not getting residual income off of any of that,
Right. And it's weird because rollerbladers never went to any other extreme sports. Whereas today you see a lot of BMXers, you see a lot of skateboarders going into like the rally circuits. You see them, the trophy trucks. I know Jason Ellis, retired skateboarder, has done that. Now, obviously he's, got a big ass channel on Sirius, but but that hero to zero thing is super, super real. And that identity, I just wanted to kind of touch on that because we've lost people because of that who just didn't see any way out aside from killing themselves, i.e. Dave Mira, rest in peace, right? You go from such a prolific name and, he did some of the rally. Like I told you, I went and saw him in Fountain, Colorado. I saw him do the rally racing up there, which is really cool. And like, it was almost 3 years later, he said, dude, I'm out of here, man. This isn't worth it to me anymore. And he killed himself. So it's really hard out there, man. And I'm surprised that, a lot of the rollerbladers, hopefully they're still alive, but man, the way that sport fell off and how they couldn't really transition into anything else like we kind of see today with extreme sports. Man, what a tough life. And like you said, they beat the hell out of their bodies,
Dude, I went as far as like, I was like looking these cats up, finding their Instagrams, like trying like this close to DMing them and being like, I just want to interview these guys. Cause I selfishly, personally just have all these questions and I don't even know if it's some shit that our audience would want to hear, but I want to do it for, I just want to know
for me,
Yeah.
Totally.
And, I knew if I was feeling it when I went out there and hit the skates and like just started kind of throwing down some grinds and stuff. And I was like, man, that, and fell a couple times and like, just, my elbow, like today, I'm kind of like, busting my elbow a little bit yesterday. And I'm just like, man, this used to just be like, I would just be riding along, think of some shit. Okay, body, do your thing.
Right.
Super sick. And it's just not like that anymore. And I was like, man, I wasn't even at pro level. I was really good, but I wasn't at pro level. And these guys, I can't imagine if I'm feeling it, they've got to be feeling it. In the chat, Anachoff, remember that rollerblading movie Airborne? I loved that shit. Anachoff, that is one of the greatest of all time. He says surfer turns rollerblader and joins the misfits against the jocks in a race down Devil's Backbone. What's not to love?
what's not to love? I love it.
Oh man, did you pull that directly off the IMDb? Because if not, that's what should be there. That's great. That's great stuff. I like that.
I was just gonna end it with like, do you even blade, bro?
Welcome everybody in the chat. Jack Black was in that. Good call, T-Mobile. Jack Black was in Airborne. Do you remember Airborne or no? Seth Green, Jack Black. No. Oh my gosh. Dude, you've got to go look it up, guy. It was not it was like aggressive rollerblading, which was aggressive at that time. So it's just like a little bit of grinding, or there wasn't really like real aggressive skates. You kind of just took your wheels out the middle of your rollerblades. This is like in the real early inception of rollerblading, but it was kind of more like rollerblade racing / I mean, it was crazy, but
I only remember Brink.
Brink was fire. That's another classic. Obviously, everyone hit me with Brink memes the other day when I was out. I got about 150 Brink responses, DM responses on my story. So that was funny. I really enjoyed that. So if you're not following on social media at OMG It's TTF, if you'd like to hang out and see some content you don't get on here, at Dal Palantonio on IG and Instagram. On IG and Twitter. and at Jamal Sully. What's up?
Damn, I did
what's
find
going
it.
on back there? You started playing
Sorry.
marbles? Or-
Yeah, oh, dude, I was searching for something, and by God,
I was like, is he
man,
playing Hungry Hippos back there? What's the deal?
it's sorry, let me get my earbuds in the right way here. I was super excited because Failbeast actually mentioned it in the comments, and I didn't see Airborne. I didn't see a lot of rollerblading movies. I don't remember that, but I do remember the best skate movie of all time. Gleaming the Mother Effin' Cube right here with Christian Slater. So sick. Tony Hawk, Rodney Mullen, a few others, Caballero. They did all the stunts for all the skate tricks in this movie. This is quintessential, the best skate movie of all time. And I had to find that and give some
What's it called?
selfless promotion. Gleaming the Cube.
All right, you watch Airborne, and I'll
Okay.
watch Gleaming the Cube.
Dude, there's even a sick storyline. Like Christian Slater, his brother ends up getting killed, and he basically goes to avenge his brother's death. And it is the greatest movie with some of the greatest stunts. Like, you remember did you ever see the movie Footloose with Kevin Bacon?
Of course.
Do you remember like the montage where he's like doing the like sick dancing in like the kind of steel warehouse like building? They
It's a
do
barn,
that.
like a steel
They do
barn.
that in this movie with skate tricks. It is the most insane shit that you'll ever see. You got to watch it.
I'm hyped. You got me excited.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
watch
check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Do you remember Brink though?
Oh, dude, absolutely. I remember.
Okay, so no Airborne, but Brink.
Yeah, Team Pup and Suds, no doubt.
Do you remember Johnny Tsunami?
Johnny Tsunami. Sounds familiar.
That was another Disney classic. Neighborhood said in the chat, Brink and Johnny Tsunami was my childhood favorites.
Gotcha.
I still remember that dude on Johnny Tsunami's like, hee hee, porno.
Yeah.
That's all I remember from that movie.
I haven't seen that for so long.
I gotta go watch that.
Johnny, you know what we watched last night, inspired by Jeff Kirby? Took It Back. Rookie of the Year.
I love that movie.
It's on Disney Plus. My lady had never seen it.
Oh, it's so great.
And I was like, I don't know how you've seen The Sandlot, but you haven't seen this one.
Man.
Such a classic. So yeah, that was great. That was great. Took me back. It's a lot of childhood memories. Rookie of the Year.
That's tight. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Rad.
All right.
Rad beats them all. Do you remember Rad?
I do remember the cover of Rad, but I don't think I've ever seen Rad.
Oh, dude, that's
it.
your shit. That's like a BMX BMX movie.
I know. I haven't seen the whole way. So I'm gonna watch that, no doubt, for sure.
Funky butt loving.
Dude, John King's in the chat. Finally decides to join us. Welcome, John King. He says, "What in tarnation is that?"
Oh, at the Gleaming Cube.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's lost this whole segment. I think he's gone.
That's probably at the Gleaming Cube guy.
Yeah.
Or what was that movie called?
Gleaming the Cube. Yeah, for sure.
I was close. I had it backwards.
Cube gleaming.
I said Gleaming the Cube. Or wait, that's the name.
That's right. That's right.
I said Cube. Oh no, I just called it Gleaming Cube. That's what I said. Rad was the shit. I got to go back and watch all of these. I need to go watch Airborne, even though I told you to watch it. I need to watch. I need to go back and hit up all of these.
That's tight. Well, I guess on to the next thing. Happy 420 day to all you weed smokers out there.
Happy 420, Dal.
Yeah, happy 420.
Are you so
what happened this morning? Like what's the deal here? Because you guys got a little bit going on this morning. He was supposed to deliver you some weed, but
I was trying to deliver Dal some weed because obviously we talked
You're
about
a
this
nice
on the last
guy.
episode.
You're a great guy. That's why you're trying to deliver some weed.
Yes. And we talked about it on the last show. I put it up on the IG story. It was a landslide. Everyone wanted Dal to smoke weed. So I was like, all right, I'm going to bring you some weed. I get the weed ready. I roll the weed up. I literally, Mia makes me a sandwich. I have my sandwich and chips on a plate with a drink and the joint in my pocket. I go downstairs. I'm sitting in my car. I fire up the car. I pull out my phone, put it up in my phone holder, and bzz, it buzzes. Dal Palantonio. Hey, don't worry about coming through. I'm a little bit paranoid about what's going on with the joint, what's on the joint, all this stuff. After we had this combo last episode, it's on fire. You're lighting the thing on. You're literally lighting it on fire. You're burning it up. It's ashes. There's nothing left. How? Where's the virus going to be?
I don't know. Robin got in my head and she's like, I think you might be burning the germs, which either could be a great thing or could be a bad thing because you're inhaling the germs. I said, well, this shit's on fire. Do you know what temperature fire burns? I said, me either. But I said, it's got to be at least a little bit better. She's like, well, I don't know.
You're telling me if there's coronavirus on the weed, that the fire possibly didn't destroy the virus, and the virus is on the ashes in the tray. Bring her on the show. Robin, bring her on the show. I'm just
I think she's doing a workout. So, for those people who wanted me to smoke, I'm a man of the people. I really am. Chinky Sanchez, one paranoid person doesn't need another paranoid partner. I agree with that. So we're gonna let Robin be paranoid, and I'm just gonna be high. There you go.
Hold on. How old is this weed here?
How old? I don't know.
This
Robin got it. I think Robin got it from my sister a while back. Let me
this is
say
like premium aged.
Let
cannabis.
me say between this cannabis that is in my hand is probably 3 to 6 months old. It's like.
And how are you smoking this, Dal?
Well, I don't have any raw cones. I don't have any of that cool new modern shit. So I was going to be like a real drug dealer and hit the pipe like a real man.
Oh, no, at least you have that. I thought you were going to say like I was going to smoke it out of an apple or something.
Oh, well, that would have been entertainment. Or like one of the honey bears or a potato. You can do any of it.
You know how to do that? You ever done that before?
I didn't make them, but yeah, I think I've hit weed, man, in my heyday, which was like high school and, the first part of college. Shit, man. Gravity bongs, honey bears, apples, you name it, man. I think there was a couple times we went to Ace Hardware and just like with like just in the plumbing section built pipes and like cut the screen around some of our windows at the house and put that screen inside, put the weed on top, good to go. I think there's been a lot of different things that I've done.
Now, question is, does the pipe, like, does it give you a smoke intake? Does it make it more, or like, how does that affect the intake?
So yes and no. No, you can treat the pipe just like you can with the joint, in my opinion. Now, there are pipes that obviously fill up, the smoke, and then you have like a release valve and it'll kind of just shoot you with it. Gotcha. Which is more like, I think they call it like a gravity pipe. I'm not for sure. I don't know all this shit, but a pipe you suck in just like you would on, like a joint. So you can kind of control your intake, but kind of not. Depending on how hard you suck, right? Am I right gotcha. There?
No, I personally, I inhale into my mouth first, then I pull it into my lungs. I don't go directly from the pipe into my lungs because if you get a bad hit. Pipes too, there's more of a chance you're going to get some of that ash and some of that black shit. That's why I don't really mess with pipes. My opinion.
You got the resin. Yeah, you got the resin. You got old weed, new weed in there. You got all kinds of different. Yeah.
My lady does here and there out of hers. I do it here and there once in a long while, but if it's just what I got, I don't have one rolled up. But cones are the absolute way to go, in my opinion. I don't do dabs or anything like that either. So I don't, but as far as being able, as far as ease, the cones are the absolute best way to go, and how they smoke. It takes a little bit to get them right. Sometimes you can pack them too tight. Sometimes you can pack them too loose and there's too much air. So it does take a little bit of practice, but once you get good at stuffing cones, they're already ready to go. It's just like this. It's already ready. It's just actually, I have a blank one right here, I think.
And then you can just put those out, right? You can just put those out, put them in like a container, and then fire it back up. Like you would never want to do that with a cigarette because it tastes so bad, but a joint,
right? Exactly. Oh, you can't do that with cigarettes? I don't even know.
Well, you can. It just tastes like shit, I think. And not that weed does or does not, but yeah, man, if you light a cigarette and you put it out and you light it up later, it's not the same thing. I don't smoke anymore cigarettes, but that's what I remember.
People in the chat are flaming you, Dal, for being a little bit paranoid about the weed.
Are they?
Neighborhood or Conley said, Kim, tell your brother he's neurotic. Neighborhood said, true. Yeah, it's another classic.
Here's the thing, though. I think you should do whatever's gonna make you the most comfortable, because you don't need anything that's gonna potentially get into your head and just make you like think
Right.
about that. Like, say you smoked and you're like, oh man, did I inhale some Corona? Like, you want to eliminate any of that. So I think you should just do whatever's gonna make you the most comfortable.
Guys, it's not mushrooms. It's
no, it's not.
Did I
You gotta
inhale
understand.
some
You don't
Corona?
understand the mental state sometimes when you're already like in that anxiety mode.
You just tell yourself I'm on drugs. That's all I do. If something starts getting crazy, I tell my brain, hey, you're on drugs. You wouldn't be thinking this normally. You wouldn't be feeling this normally. Maybe
Anxiety
you would,
is not,
but let's
it's
see
the
if you're
most
feeling that way off
irrational
drugs.
thing. Anxiety is not rational at all.
Yeah, I guess
It's
I can't relate. I guess whenever if I have any of that, I just I tell myself, yeah, you're high. You're on drugs.
You've never been so high that you've been on a walk and had to sit on a big ass rock that was in the middle of like the playground or whatever, and you tell your best friend like, hey, I think this is it. I think I'm dying. You better call the emergency room right now. You got to get me there. Like, I've been that high, and it is the most uncomfortable, god awful feeling that I think there is.
All right, Dal, smoke up a little bit.
Hit it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how you're doing. And
it looks like my sister's in the chat. If you want to check that out, it looks like she says it looks like you haven't smoked the right strain yet, which is right. But I've smoked every like different type, like the indicas, the sativas, the hybrids. But I mean, there's just an ungodly amount of strains, so you're probably right. And then it looks like she recognized maybe the weed that this might be, and she thinks it's this favorite strain called Slow. You ever heard of that? I don't know. I haven't.
But I don't know. When it's indica, sativa, I'll try to kind of pay attention, but it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. I think it's all about the amount you smoke of any strain. If I smoke a ton of sativa, I'm still going to get sleepy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be indica for me. That's just how my body works. But I notice certain strains of weed will flare up my allergies like crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll notice that sometimes too. So it's really
the terpenes.
Is that what it is? Are you being
maybe
serious? Oh,
yeah.
I was like,
It's got something to do with that, I'm sure.
Conley has. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Dirty
Conley
DJ
was saying, are you gonna spark up in the shoe room?
Oh, I did.
Is that
Yeah,
gonna
Dirty
hurt the
DJ.
resale value?
Yeah, Dirty DJ said that.
That was
said that
Dirty
same
DJ,
thing
my
too.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I've got the closed off boxes. You guys see my shoe boxes are closed.
Well, you see mine. Mine are all in their shoe boxes. So I mean, it's kind of closed
Kind
off
of the
a little
same.
bit.
Kind of the same.
And then I do
It'll
have
be
on the
okay.
other side, I've got a couple.
It's not cigarette smoke though. That's the worst. That'll definitely
cigarette.
hurt the resale value.
Yeah, I don't think it really hurt Ted's resale value. Every time he had to unload some shoes, he did pretty good. So, whatever.
Conley with 2 super chats. You boys get the Trump bucks yet for $1.99. And Coconut Chips Ahoy will come in clutch for $1.99. Thank you, Conley. Appreciate you, man.
You know what, dude? I actually had one of those Coconut Chips Ahoy. And I hate coconut. They weren't bad.
Are you serious?
They weren't bad.
So now you're okay.
Awful. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll call Robin here in a second if this hits me. Like, I don't feel anything quite yet, man. I feel I feel happy to be on the cast. But if I do get a hankering for maybe some of those cookies, I don't think it's going to be coconut that stops me.
Did you smoke any yet, Dal?
Yeah, I took a hit.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if you were already.
I'm really I'm really dry. I'll tell you that.
Your mouth?
You did?
Yeah.
The cotton mouth. Yeah, I didn't know either. I went to make sure I wasn't cutting them off. My pirate blacks from Teddy hella smelt like weed from Misha. I guess. Yeah, but Teddy's on a different level of weed smoking. He's on dabs and.
Yeah, no doubt.
I guess to be fair, I mean, since the quarantine happened, I've been on maybe a little different level of weed smoking too, a little more than usual, That's probably everybody. I'm really glad that I didn't have to deal with the dispensary nonsense.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just too much for me.
I'm glad that my sister was the dispensary for me, even though it's super aged.
I was telling my girl that this morning, like, I like weed. I like smoking weed. It's fine. But I'm not a big, like, weed culture guy. Like, you would never probably catch me at like a 420 rally unless I was being there for something I need to be business wise. You would never probably, I'm not going to be the guy that's wearing weed socks. You're not going to catch me in a weed hat or shirt. I'm just not that guy. Like I've never been really, really big into that, I just like to
for sure.
kind of low key, just smoke weed and whatever,
Are people doing anything outside for 420? Or is everybody?
I haven't seen,
because they've been protesting. There's been people
I was going to ask you guys about that.
Right.
So I wondered if anybody had seen anybody downtown.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I didn't see anybody downtown. What I did see though was, I know you guys are familiar with Mr. Willie Nelson himself, Mr. Country Music, weed smoking fool, like just one of the greatest guys I hear. He is doing well. I think it's over now, but he was doing, I think, at 3:20, which would have been 4:20 at some, in some time zone. But I think he was doing a music live stream that might still be going on. And it's including the likes of Willie Nelson, Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg. You've got Casey Musgraves. And I think this was all on Twitch. So if some of you guys wanted to run that back later or check that out, he was doing basically a live sesh with all these different artists. So it would have been interesting to see how they did it, what they were doing, aside from smoking weed, of course. But that's what I saw. I didn't see anybody really getting together and whatnot. But yesterday, weed aside, they were protesting the shit, dude, out of this stay-at-home order at the Capitol. Did you guys see that here in Denver?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what a mess.
Colorado's been making like news headlines and all kind of like those pictures from yesterday.
Like national headlines. Yeah.
Well, you guys said that was happening in Michigan last episode. You guys were like, yo, in Michigan, they were already doing this shit, right?
So Michigan, it was like people were protesting the stay-at-home order, but in Colorado yesterday, there was like 2 nurses that decided to do a protest, and they were basically standing in the crosswalk at the red lights. Like all they were doing was just standing there, like, and people were just yelling at them, and they had signs like the land of the free, this and that, like, you're trying to take our rights. And it's just crazy. It's like, why are you guys directing your energy towards the healthcare workers?
Yeah, like they're just trying to fucking save your ass because you're going to be in there in a week or two. It's tough, man, for me. I mean, I get it. Like the whole rights stuff. I've never been like a big, like, oh, don't take my freedom away. Like, I've been raised on a very conservative, I guess. And I consider myself more liberal than conservative. But I like views on both sides for certain things. But, guns, I was always raised with guns. My parents, my dad, on a farm. And that was the right to bear arms and having the constitutional rights of having, the ability to bear arms and keep my guns. Sometimes the Democrats obviously want to take, the assault rifles away and do the bans and all this stuff. And we had to minimize our clips a couple years ago where, 30 round clips to like 15 and all this stuff. So a lot of companies like Magpul pulled out, went to Texas. I get it, man. And I understand the right stuff, but at the same time, man, there's certain sacrifices that we all have to kind of make to make headway to solutions. And I think I'm just puzzled by the stupidity, I guess, of people and not being able to grip the reality of what's going on, and also probably having some selfishness within that. It's tough for me to see, but at the end of the day, all you can do is control your own self and what you do and where you go. Everybody else, they just opened up Florida beaches, and for them to open those up, like you have government officials saying it's okay. So as the people, if they say it's okay, why the hell wouldn't you? I get that, but man, I'm surprised by just, people's lack, a lot of people's lack of just taking heed to other people and considering healthcare workers and considering the lives of others. I'm not shocked, but I am shocked. Does that make sense? And I'm high. Yeah. I think I rambled for a little bit. Jesus.
Yes. Nice. Dal, is it kicking in?
I'm tired right now of talking. I just talk so much. I'm tired.
Oh, I was like tired. I was like, wait.
No, you seem normal. It was good.
Like I'm worn out from talking. Like
no, Dal, you're overthinking it. See, everything to us sounded normal. Everything sounded fine. Cool. Yeah. See, that's maybe what you need is you need to like smoke weed around a couple of cats that can tell you like, hey, no, that know you. So it's not like You couldn't just smoke weed and then go grab a sandwich. You're not going down to Jersey Mike's after this because all of a sudden you're at the cashier. Did I get my money? I brought my wallet. You're freaking out. Like you just need to be around a couple people that can tell you, hey, no, you sounded normal. Everything's good.
It's usually a pat in the front, right? You got your keys, you pat for your keys, you pat for your phone, you pat for your wallet. I'd be doing that like 65 times. Yep. I'm doing it 65 times. I'm like the little drummer boy on my lower body. You know what I mean?
You guys heard that story about Dallas. He was over at my house and he got a contact high. I was smoking. He was sitting in this recliner across from me, and somehow he got a contact high, and we went in to pick up pizza at Pizza Hut. We were sitting there for like less than 5 minutes. I was like, dude, we gotta get out of here, man. It's been like 20 minutes. What are we doing? What's going on with this place? Why are they taking so long? Something's happening, dude. I'm like, Dallas, step outside and get some air, please. Relax. It's been 5 minutes.
Oh, I was pacing in there the whole thing.
And that was on a contact high.
Dude, I know they're messing with our pizza, man. Dude, they don't like us, dude. They're looking at me, man, over here.
That was funny. It was really funny. Thomas Yee, happy 420, $4.99 in the super chat. Thank you,
Thomas Yee. I like that guy, man. He's always hitting me up, dude. Every time he's like, hey, man, heading to the store, man. Need me to pick you up a Nintendo Switch? Need a Switch Lite? What's up, man? You need anything? You good? Man, there's some good people out there. Yeah.
Did you get your Switch?
Our chat, our followers are the greatest.
No, I haven't. Switch? I haven't got a Switch yet, man. And I may not buy one because when we get into sneakers or we get into The Last Dance, I have a story for you. So I might not be able to afford a Switch. But anyways.
Do we get all the other super chats?
Yeah, we did.
We got the combi one, the Chips Ahoy and all that. Okay.
Yep.
All right, just checking.
Got those. Fail Beast. In reaction to you talking about the cases, the protesters, the cases are through the roof in the U.S. In Australia, half the country have had no new cases, and the other half, 11. We just locked down and got over it. How many of these coffins do you want? That's his thoughts there. And I think I think there's a lot of people that feel that way here, but unfortunately, it's not like you can tell anyone else what to do, and that's the issue, and that's where everyone starts getting testy, and no one. It's like we're in a country with a bunch of 5-year-olds. Like the more you tell them no, the more they want to do it, and the more the push and the backlash and the fighting and and it's just you're never gonna change anyone's mind. I heard this nurse yesterday talking on the news about it's she's inside and the protest is downtown. She can see it from her place, and she's all pissed off and stuff about it. But I'm watching the thing and looking like, whose mind are you changing? All the shit you're saying is dust in the wind. It doesn't matter. No one's going to change their mind. No one's going to stop protesting. But you know what? That's a really good point. I think I am going to go inside and put my sign down. No one's going to do that. You're wasting breath, wasting time. Well,
and that brings me to another point. So I don't know if you guys heard today, but the Georgia governor, Brian Kemp, he announced today that not today, but he had an announcement today that fitness centers, bowling alleys, body art studios, barbers, hair and nail salons, and massage therapy businesses can all reopen as early as Friday, the 24th. So this Friday. And then he says theaters and restaurants will be allowed to open the following Monday, the 27th, while bars and nightclubs will still remain closed. Dude, Georgia's about to be a goddamn hotspot, if you ask me. I'm a little concerned with that.
Say that again. Sorry, I just run it back for me. They're opening on which day? I know I heard the bars and restaurants are going to remain closed, but
correct.
Who is opening on which day?
Yeah, so Friday. So this Friday, the 24th, Governor Brian Kemp in Georgia.
I don't need to know all that, Dallas. So quickly.
All right.
What?
Fitness centers, bowling alleys, body art studios, barbers, hair and nail salons will all be opening up Friday. And then that following Monday, the 27th, you will also have theaters and restaurants opening.
Wow. That is a lot. Okay. That's what I wanted. Thank you. I just wanted a rundown of the industries. That's a lot of industries, dude.
It is. I mean,
that's a lot, man.
What the hell's body art studio? Like, why is that the first phase?
Tattoos, right?
That'd be tattoos and tattoos and body piercing stuff.
But still, like, what restaurants are less important than tattoos and haircuts?
Well, I think it all relates to
The
like
amount
the
of
body
people
art.
in an area.
So
right?
the barbers, the body art studios, and hair and nail salons are all approved to open or close by a certain company. Am I correct on that, franchise? So there's probably the same company who manages.
Oh, you're talking about the
like,
beauty commission or whatever it was,
yeah,
whatever that thing's called.
commission. Yeah. So that all those places are open because they're all
Dora is what
similar.
it's called.
And I think
Yeah.
Dora runs all of those. So that would
Department
make
of
sense.
Regulatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it's exactly.
Crazy.
That's wild, man. That's only in Georgia. Obviously, everyone's they're allowing the governors to govern their own area, and we haven't had that order yet here. But I mean,
No.
Dow,
Yeah.
there's some, even you between the joint thing. I was like, hey, do you want to come over here and pick it up? You were like, no, hey, come drop it off. I'm staying inside for another 2 weeks, self-quarantining. That was what you told me. You're there. There's some people like me. I'm kind of just, look at you see me outside. I'm rollerblading. Mia and I are nice and balanced. We're just we're nice and balanced. We're doing the social distancing. We're not trying to go overboard. We're not trying to, if we go to the grocery store, wear the mask. If we're, I'm still getting out, I'm still rollerblading. I'm not necessarily wiping down my packages and all this other stuff. So we're in the middle. We're in the middle. Yeah. But no, I feel like you're on the very, far one side, and then the protesters on the far the other side.
You're right. Yeah, man, I think you're doing a great job. I think you actually invited me. You're like, hey, we don't have to be close or anything, but damn, man, you want to come skate with me? And,
you want to just come roll around. You want to come rollerblade around this parking lot or ride or whatever,
And I thought about it. I was like, shit, man, I haven't hung out with a friend since March 12th. Geez, that sounds great. But, I'm going to say, give it another week or two. And I think you can only do what you feel is right inside. I think Jalal, said that best, like, hey, do what you're comfortable with, and anything else, you start pushing limits, then you might start losing sleep and your whole fucking system's thrown off. Is it really worth it? And for me, it's not quite yet, but, I think we're cooling down a little bit on the packages. I still think it's relevant. I still like to quarantine my shoes a little bit. Like, I'm going to open packages still outside and not bring anything inside if I don't have to. But yeah, man, I'm a little overboard, but I think it helps. It helps with the rest of my life. And I, as somebody who struggles with anxiety more than you two fellas, I know you have in the past, but mine's pretty consistent. I just have to do what I got to do. But I think you're doing a great job, franchise. I really do. You and Mia, especially as young as you guys are. I'm a little older. Like, God, dude, I think you guys are doing a great job, man. So keep it up. Jalal, we know he's doing a good job. He hasn't left his fucking basement in 31 days. So we know he's doing good.
Yeah.
So
there's multiple people in the chat wanting another hit, Dow, and saying you didn't get high enough.
I don't know.
Multiple people are encouraging that. Also, an update on the Teddy Riley Babyface IG Live. So I have a $20 bet with Dallas and John King. The battle went down last Saturday night, and it was awful. Teddy Riley was doing the most, and Teddy Riley was not social distancing. Teddy Riley was doing everything wrong.
Yeah. How many people did he have in that bitch that we saw? Like 7 at least? 7 in that mother?
Shit.
Could have been more?
Something like that. And so obviously the sound was really, really shitty. And the bet is if they go over 500,000, I lose. If it's under 500,000, I win. So I got the under. They hit about 412,000 is what I saw it top out at.
Yeah, something like that.
So, and then Swiss Beats and Timbaland threw in the towel because Teddy Riley's sound was so bad, even though he had a crazy production team, which was unnecessary. So now they're doing a rematch tonight. So being the good guy that I am, I decided to make it fair. I said, hey, yo, if the result changes, I'll give you guys each back $40. I'll give you your 20 back, plus I'll pay you the 20 I owe you. Instead of just saying, hey, there was action. At a sports book, if something happens in the baseball game and there's action, if the game goes off and there's action, if someone gets shot in the stands in the 3rd inning and the rest of the game doesn't get completed, that's the game. Whatever was going on, that's action. So just because Teddy Riley brought in a production team and shit his pants, technically I should still be collecting the 20 off you guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bookie you, but I should. I'm just letting you know how it would go.
Well,
if you had a bookie,
I did the right thing too. Because remember, I already paid you. So I was like, you know what, man? I took the L. We got close to that 500K. We didn't hit it. It did happen. I didn't even get to watch it because I forgot about it. And then I'm scrounging. I'm like, holy shit, the battle's on right now. And I had to like text you. And I'm like, yo, where's the battle? You're like, dude, it's on Instagram. And it had just ended. Like the moment you sent me that text back, that reply, and I'm like, shit. So then I had to do some reconnaissance to see kind of where we ended. And I saw about that 412, 420, 420,000 people. And I was like, well, shit, man. Even if they do a redo, I'm like, I got to pay the man my 20. So I paid the man his 20.
Either way, yeah, I'll give you. So that's what we'll do. I'll give you guys back like I said, we'll go with those stipulations. Right now, it's 5 minutes. This is supposed to be underway. And to me, it looks like they're already having difficulties. I'm seeing each of them live on their separates, but they can't get it together. And Babyface started in the shower. And now he's in his studio. But John King said at one point they had 200K in the chat, 230. Dustin says there's 230 in faces right now. Teddy Riley ain't even live. Teddy got to figure it out, guy. Teddy is really single-handedly ruining the shit. 245,000 on Babyface right now.
Isn't
245,000?
And isn't Teddy like younger than Babyface? Like he should be a little bit more technologically savvy. I don't know. Maybe he's just got a shitty team over there. What's going on?
Here's the thing. Teddy Riley was actually in the future a little bit because he was streaming the whole thing on his website and he had multiple camera angles. And so I think he was trying to double dip and he was just trying to do too much. But he's actually where I think this battle should be. I've been saying it for a long time. Like, I don't think they should keep doing this on IG Live. They want to keep that feeling natural and all that. But that platform is just not able to handle.
It's not built for that.
Dal sneaking in another hit.
The sneaker room is getting fucked up.
Why are you doing that on the sneaks, Dal? The streets want to see it.
Hey man, they'll see it, man. They just got to stay locked in. We're trying to get our chat to 500K. Let's go.
Can we beat the Babyface and Teddy Riley chat
for Dallas smoking?
Can our chat?
First time in 7 years.
360K.
Yeah, first time in 7 years. Come on.
This is going to be interesting tonight because it's going to be interesting to see if everyone comes back. I mean, I get that there's 264K right now, but this thing should have gone off 7 minutes ago. So you're getting the stragglers that are coming in late. I'm still feeling around the same number. I'm feeling high threes, maybe low fours.
I think there's going to be a lot more than there was last time because of the controversy. Like that whole moment went viral.
A lot more, you said? So way over 500K then?
What did we get last time? It
412
capped at like
is what it maxed out. No.
At one time?
That was 412,000. And then right now on Babyface is 275K. Right now, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Well, and what I was going to ask you guys is,
we're definitely at 400.
Before I got high, I was going to ask you, what was I going to ask you?
Teddy just connected.
What I was going to ask you was, with this, how it ended so abruptly and shitty the last time, and how it looks like it's off to a great start. Notice my eyes, my slanty eyes with the sarcasm. It's off to a shitty start again. Does this make the hype bigger or less? Because people are like, man, all right, I'm fucking over this. Like, or is it like, oh my God, when this shit happens, this is better than The Last Dance. I got to be in there. What do you think?
Dude, they just ended again, bro. They were just connected.
As soon as Teddy connected, it died.
It died.
Dog, these guys, bro, Teddy's got Jalal's internet going on today.
That Earthlink, that Earthlink is terrible.
Yeah, I think they should keep it the way it is. I know you like it on the other shit, or you want a little bit more to it, but I think that's how certain shit does get ruined. Or certain organic stuff. I see both sides. Me personally, though, I would like them to just keep it the way they were. I thought people putting their phone next to the speaker was great. Lil Jon T-Pain was great. The Scott Storch Manny Fresh was great. It was fine. It was fine the way it was. Yeah. It was working fine. I thought doing the most you can do is what Storch did. He had his piano there and he was kind of playing along with his songs, doing a little showmanship. I thought that was great, but it didn't affect the song at all. It didn't affect the way you heard it. It didn't have any issues. And I thought that was awesome. And
Tedder, dude, Benny Blanco and Tedder, I thought did a great job, man. Cause literally they just played it out of their computer speakers.
Yeah.
you know, and I think they were making fun of each other like, oh man, Benny or Ryan, whoever it was, you need to upgrade your speakers, but dude, let's just get the job done. Let's just get the hits. I mean, I don't know.
All right, we'll keep you updated on that as the night goes on. Skinner, everyone wants to see the production errors. It's like a car accident. People can't look away. They might be right. I might be in big trouble because these guys suck. I might be in bad, because they don't know how to use social media. I might be in real trouble because of that. But hey, guess what? That's just like the house collecting on the other side the other day.
Right.
But guess what? You guys are collecting. You ain't giving it back, right? Interesting.
That's true.
As we move on. Let's do this, Dal. Let's hit the Last Dance really quickly.
Okay.
Did you catch both parts last night?
Absolutely. And I stayed up and watched Scott Van Pelt afterwards do his little thing, his synopsis. And then after he was done, they started playing The Last Dance yet again. And I watched halfway through the first episode a second time.
Dude, very compelling stuff. Jalal, how about you? Did you watch the show?
So I had some technical difficulties.
What?
All right,
What?
Teddy.
So
God.
7:00 comes around. I got somebody hooked me up with an ESPN login because I cut cable a long time ago. I only have like streaming services, but I thought I was all good. I had to log in, set it up on the ESPN app early. 7:00 comes around. I'm able to watch other stuff on ESPN, but 7:00 comes around. I click on The Last Dance and it says, this isn't included in your package or something like that. So I'm like, what the hell, man? Why didn't it say that like when I first opened the app up? So now I'm trying to scramble on Reddit, trying to find a stream. I couldn't get anything. So I missed it. I'm gonna have to catch them sometime this week.
Oh, wow.
Dude, you should just go on a free trial of YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing, my YouTube TV trial, I did that and it just ended 2 days ago.
Well,
what did you think? You didn't like it?
I didn't use it, man. The problem with cable is like the only time I regret not having it is the Grammys, the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's it. And like stuff like this.
Jalal, just use the most underrated Gmail. Just go ahead and use that new email address. You're fine.
Get a YouTube TV?
And let's get it going.
Okay.
Yeah, do a trial. I mean, create a stupid ass live.com or Hotmail account and just get it going.
Philby says it's also showing on Netflix.
Well, so if you're outside of the US, for some reason, people outside of the US always get hooked up. If it's outside of the US, it is streaming on Netflix, but I don't think in the US we're able to view it.
Oh, they're probably going to put it up on the platform later on.
Misha just sent me a link. So
that's what he said. He just DM'd you. All right, good. So now you can check that out.
Dang, this is like a download file to like save it to your computer.
Oh, these fools are on the super back end shit. No homo.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Misha. Hey, real quick, since Misha's in there, shout out to Misha. That fool sent me a link directly to Kith, and we all know how bad Kith sucks, but I was able to get the Agassiz, man, in the hot black lava. So I got those.
Dude, be here. I'm jealous. I want to see those in hand. I'm so sad I can't see them in hand. Ship them to me first, Misha, and then I'll just go drop them off to Dallas, and we can just... Actually, never mind. He'll be all concerned about the box virus. We got the virus.
Yeah, we don't want no Cyrus the virus over here. Okay, get out of here.
Plus, he's quarantining his shoes when he gets them, so he won't even look at them for a while unless he makes an exception like last time.
Dallas, what you should get is a UV lamp, or there's a specific one, UVC, I think. You should get a UV lamp, and it actually disinfects anything you put in there. Like you can have a little box and like the UV light will disinfect it. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. They got them bitches on Amazon. Send me a link.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
All right, man. Send me a link. That'd be sweet. So franchise. So since Jalal was eating his balls last night,
The Last Dance,
a sweet docuseries. What's your so you said it was compelling, I think, TV. Yeah. What do you?
Because it was I wasn't aware. I was really, really young when, obviously, I was born the year Jordan came in the league, so I didn't remember any of,
Right.
I I'd seen highlights from North Carolina, but not that in depth with that kind of explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot there. I also learned a lot about his rookie season and how when he came in the league, what he did. And then obviously I knew about the breaking the ankle the second year.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that a lot of the drama and the stories that I had no idea about. And I want to, I was going to say I want to apologize. It's not really that necessary, but I was wrong on last episode. I said, I don't think this is a Jordan doc. I think this is a Bulls doc. I think it's totally a Jordan doc now. I think it is a Bulls doc, but that's why it's 10 parts, because it's both.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Michael Jordan documentary. If you look at the timeline, I loved that about how they jumped back and forth on the timeline. It would show him as a little kid and then go scroll all the way back to his childhood in the 60s or whatever. And then it would go and scroll to back to 85 when he was going into the NBA's rookie year. And then it would scroll back into the 90s or the 97 season,
97.
kind of what they're chronicling. So I thought that was really, really cool and well done. What about you?
Yeah, no, I thought I learned some stuff, and I knew I would, right? Especially being a 10-part docuseries. I wasn't quite as young as you. I was 3 years older than you were at that time. So 82, 92. So, I mean, I was just into my teens in 97, which was cool. So I have a pretty good recollection of it, but I was mostly watching it for the basketball. I was watching it for the highlights. You know what I mean? Like on Saturday mornings, I'm going to watch some cartoons, but I'm also going to watch NBA Inside Stuff with Ahmad Rashad. You know what I mean? Like I was that highlight guy. But in terms of like doing all the reconnaissance and the research and the back end stuff, which again, we couldn't see that anyways back then. We didn't have social media. We didn't have any of that stuff that really showed that. So I knew I was going to learn some shit, and I was super pumped to learn. Obviously we talked about when Mike came to be Michael Jordan, when he made that shot that wins the championship. Having Dean Smith talk about him as a player, for him being his coach. That was pretty interesting. Obviously getting some family stuff in there, interviewing his mom, Dolores. I thought was really cool. Like you said, going back and forth through time. I thought they did it really well, and it kept you gripped, right, to what was going on. It wasn't like a dull moment in there. And then Pippen. I think Pippen could arguably be the greatest number 2 that we've ever seen.
Before we get there.
Yeah.
We got all the other stuff. I think the biggest takeaway so far from the first 2 parts is Jerry Krause.
Absolutely.
That has to be the biggest takeaway, because we're talking about a guy like right now, if Jalal was sitting here, I'm saying Jerry Krause probably has no idea who he is or what role he played. This guy behind the scenes, you learn so much about Jerry Krause in the first 2 episodes and how he was essentially trying to take down this dynasty while it's still going and they're still winning. And he's just trying to take it down so he can get more credit. Or he was I guess he was not necessarily so he could get more credit, but he was a little, he seemed like a guy that wanted a little bit more credit for what was being done.
Yeah. They, a couple of the commentators, maybe it was Wilbon or JJ Adonde. I can't remember which one, but they actually said it. They're like, Jerry Krause was the fat kid, when he was a young kid, and, he just got made fun of a lot and had kind of the small man complex. And I think the docuseries did a great job, at least so far, showing that he was even that way into his adulthood. Like, I've got something to prove. Michael Jordan had all the attention. Phil Jackson, my Bulls, who were winning, who had multiple championships. So I know I was making the money. They had all the attention. And Jerry Krause wanted that attention. He wanted some of the credit for building, and rightfully so, he built the fucking organization. He did a great job. And I think he does and should get credit for that. But it just wasn't enough. And I think people just overlooked him, or that's how he felt. And he had enough of it.
I thought it was very interesting when he said the quote about organizations winning championships and not players.
Controversial for sure.
I thought that was interesting. And then all the way to the combos with Phil Jackson about it being Phil's last season. And that's really the part where I just couldn't ever get on Jerry Krause's side. I really try to see both people's sides of everything. And I try to chalk it up as, I could see. After that point, after he told Phil that what did he say? He said something about no matter what happens in the last season. Oh yeah, if they went 82-0, that's right. It doesn't matter if they go 82-0.
Still gone.
He's out. He's out the door. It doesn't matter. That was what the quote was. I couldn't think of how he said it.
Yeah.
The nerve it took to tell a former baseball scout to tell a 5-time NBA champion at that time,
right, that
you're going to be ousted, even if you go 82-0. What nerve does that take?
That's huge cojones. Yeah, he says, I don't care if you win 82 games in a row. This is going to be your last year.
That's what it was, 82 in a row.
Yeah.
Nuts to me. After that, dude, after I heard that, I was just like, there's nothing I can do here. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do for Jerry. There's no way I could be on Jerry's side ever. I have to. And then as it just goes on, you just see how he's trying to wreck the dynasty. And Scottie Pippen. Now let's go ahead and bring up what you were going to say about Pippen. Sorry, I just wanted to get to Krause first to set up Pippen and his relationship with Jerry Krause.
Oh man, Pippen, obviously, I think I'm trying to find it real quick here. Obviously, Pippen, he signed. So when he came into the league, he obviously signed I don't know if it was bad management, but it also showed in the doc, like Pippen just wanted to play. Like he wasn't all about the money. He wanted to make sure, he said, to be able to take care of, a couple people around him and make sure that they're taken care of. But, the signing of that 7-year deal in 1991 for $18 million, as you see it now and what players are making now, it's no comparison, but it was a very controversial signing, for that long of tenure, at that time, to be locked into that and not being able to renegotiate that type of thing. And obviously it created some havoc within the organization. And, Jordan had to step up. You had to have some of your Steve Kerrs, your Tony Kukoc, your Luke Longley step up. And Rodman obviously was a huge bearer of that weight when Pippen obviously had the injury, went down, and then obviously said, I'm not ruining my summer, getting that surgery. I'm not ruining my summer for this shit. And
dude, I was on Scotty's side. Totally. I was on Scotty's side. Totally. When he did that, I was like, Michael said, he was pretty mad at Scotty for that because he thought it was selfish. He thought Scotty put himself in that position by signing that contract. Spoiler alert, if you didn't see it, Scottie Pippen signed a 7-year, $18 million deal. Not $18 million per, $18 million total over 7 years. So Scotty screwed Scotty, to use Vince McMahon's terms there. Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. And I agree with Michael saying it's selfish, but I completely agree with what Scotty did, because Scotty was going to play the last year for what, and beat himself up for what? Not more money. It's not like Scotty didn't go to management and show them the evidence of, hey, here's what I've done. Can we renegotiate? Nope. And that was actually not even that wasn't even all Krause's fault. It was a lot of Reinsdorf. Reinsdorf was the one. Yeah, he was just a hard-headed idiot and was like, nope, once they sign the deal, that's it. Once they sign the deal, I don't go back on it. That's it. That's the deal.
Old school mentality, for sure.
And that's bullshit, especially for a guy like that who's helped you win, who's bring 5 NBA titles at the time.
5 championships,
and he's arguably the best wingman in sports, according to Michael Jordan. I mean, the quote Michael Jordan said in the doc, he said, I considered him the best teammate of all time. It's hard to imagine anyone else who'd even compete for that title. That's what he said when talking about Scottie Pippen.
That's dope.
So I think the love that Jordan had for Pippen really came out in the doc. And I did feel bad for Scottie. I think it was stupid that Scottie did that.
Yeah.
And but once you hear him talk about it, I did it because I wanted that security for my family. I understand that too, but
and he just didn't feel like he was that great. He echoed that sentiment within the interview when they were talking to him. He's like, I just wanted to play basketball. I was just happy to be in the league. I was just like, really not a lot of confidence, and which surprised me. I didn't know, but I was happy that Jordan kind of came to his side, because I always wondered what that dynamic looked like. Could Scotty have been better? Could Scotty have, you know, lamented himself into a more historical fashion for himself had he not had to deal with the Jordan tendencies? But I mean, you could argue those things all in all, but he knew his role, and he was literally arguably one of the greatest two man, the second man. So it's hard to argue.
What did you think about Michael Jordan his transition of foregoing his senior year and going into the NBA draft and that whole thing, how they put it together? I thought it was really cool how they showed him at North Carolina, and they showed the development. I loved how Roy Williams was in there and was just like, man, all the North Carolina stuff. Sorry, that's where I'm taking this. All the North Carolina stuff really, I really enjoyed, because I didn't know much about that at all. So to hear Roy Williams talk about Michael, to hear some of the teammates, some of the people he played against in college talk about Michael, to talk about how he improved and how he kept getting better and better and better, and his work ethic while he was there at North Carolina, I thought that was awesome.
I thought it was too. Yeah, I couldn't argue that one bit. I think what they said to him, and I think we all, as like I'm a player, but I think all players should be so lucky to have the supporting staff of Roy Williams and Mr. Smith. I think they did a great job advocating for Michael. I think putting him in the right positions, in the right place, and then also making him work. And having Jordan say, look, I'm going to prove to you I'm the best. And obviously following James Worthy was that guy for UNC until Jordan basically said, and a man of his word, I'm going to outwork everybody here. I'm just going to prove it. And I think it did a great job showing that. And I was super happy to see that, because again, I didn't know a lot about his college years either. I don't think a lot of people did.
And then the 86 playoff run, going into his rookie year, the 86 playoff run, I didn't know that they limped into the playoffs that year. And then what was that? That was when he was coming back from the ankle injury, his second year at the very end. He limps him into the playoffs with playing minutes restrictions. He's playing 7 minutes per half.
Yep.
So he's on a minutes restriction, 7 minutes per half. And they get in the playoffs with like 29 wins. They're like 29-52 or something ugly like that. And they get the Boston Celtics in the first round. Who got Walton and Bird and all these stars,
Parrish,
dude. And
McHale.
Yeah, right. And I thought that was great. I thought that was great, showing the highlights of Jordan taking them to the brink in that series and just playing his ass off, scoring 49 in the first game and then coming out and scoring 61 in the second game, just putting them all on his back in his second season coming off an ankle injury. That was incredible.
Crazy. And the second game, damn, I think the Bulls only lost by like 5 or 6 points. It was so close. The first one, it was more of obviously a blowout, but that second game, it just really showed you the will of Jordan and his just competition. And I think that was echoed so much even through the first 2 episodes, his just will to win, his drive to win. He hated the Bulls organization when he first joined because they weren't a winning organization. It was like Jordan said to him, he's like, these guys don't want to win. They're, he didn't call them a bunch of losers, but his will to win, he was like, hey, I'm going to play, and I'm playing to win every game. Whereas when he first joined the Bulls, it was, that was a Blackhawk city. That was a White Sox city. That was a Cubs city. It was not the Chicago Bulls city by any stretch. And kind of seeing that shift was a cool story to tell as well.
Yeah, I think that was probably some of my favorite parts right there. I enjoyed the stuff that was later in the 90s and the drama, but I think we're also going to hear a lot more about that. So I'm kind of, expecting I'm going to get more of that later, but that was the stuff I enjoyed so far in the really early one.
Are you excited about the premiere, obviously, and some of the secrets they've unlocked already for this next series next Sunday with Rodman, getting into Rodman's history? I think it's going to be great.
Rodman stuff, the battles with the Detroit Pistons and the Bad Boys. I'm I'm really excited to hear about all of that. I've heard interviews of them talk about each other on both sides, and I know there's not a lot of love there. So I'm not expecting it to change in the doc. I don't know how much love there's still going to be, but it's going to be fun to watch that one. The last thing, I guess, unless you have any more on it,
No,
that I
I'm
wanted
good.
to, okay. The last thing I wanted to hit on was just on the LeBron comparisons. Jordan did not believe in load management. We talked about him coming off that ankle injury. It was everything you could do to get him off the court at the 7 minutes. He didn't want to come off the court. He's on the bench pissed off. Then he's forcing his way back into the games and playing like he did at the end of the season. He did not care about load management. He wasn't trying to take it off. Remember the quote? He's talking in the locker room. The lady's interviewing him, and she's like, well, wouldn't it be helpful for your team to have a better spot in the draft lottery? And Mike's like, I don't think that's a winning strategy. I don't think any player should have that mindset. And I definitely don't think the front office should have that mindset. You should not be trying to get higher spot in the draft lottery. That means you're losing more games. We're here to win games. And I love that. There's no load management in Michael Jordan. And that's what differentiates him and LeBron and all the, he wants to talk about John King. We were talking about years played. He's trying to compare LeBron. How many seasons has he played versus Jordan? Dude, LeBron, look at how Jordan go. There's no load management. There's no taking any time off. There's no taking extra time to rehab injuries or anything like that. Plus, he's getting killed. I mean, wait till we see next week. He's getting killed. He's getting beat up on the court. This is a totally different era. Totally different.
And the other thing is, like, you kind of mentioned it, but you didn't. Like, he even went and played with the colleges, dude. Like, he went and played ball with college as he's trying to rehab. He went 1-on-1, then he went 2-on-2, 3-on-3, where he eventually went 5-on-5 to try to make sure that he was good to go and that his foot had healed, but so he could start playing in the NBA. The Bulls organization didn't even know that he was doing that. That was a shock once they found out, once he started playing back after the minutes restrictions and all that stuff. How crazy is that? You think a lot of players today would do that? Get the hell out of here. So
I remember when, in the chat, T-Mobile, I remember when MJ played the Celtics in 86. My dad was like, enjoy this. The league is his after this year. And he grew up in Boston. It's the big Celtics house, obviously. And they were worried about young Michael Jordan coming through.
That's crazy.
Misha, only 382K on the versus battle. Good shit. All right. That's good. That's good news. I had it tuned in, but it keeps cutting off. It says they're live and then they're not live and then they're live. And all right, cool. I got it back up on again. Fail Beast. Load management was in the hotel afterwards with the splash emoji and the eggplant emoji, if you know what those mean. Bow chicka wow wow. Load management. Bow chicka wow wow. Fail Beast. Yeah. That's my
they seem to be going pretty well now.
I don't know. I just went on it and it says we're having trouble loading this live video. Please try again.
So what I saw, somebody said to use there's a IG Stories plugin or a Chrome extension.
Oh, stop it. Oh my goodness. You got to pull it up on your Google Chrome.
I don't know if that's because they were having trouble, if that's a workaround, but they just said it looks real crispy. So I was like, let me try this out. So that's what I'm watching it on right now.
Does it look crispy?
I ain't trying to do no load management, man, for IG Stories, man.
This might come in handy a little later.
All right, keep me updated. Then I don't have the energy right now
during demon time.
Google Chrome extensions. Try to figure that out. Speaking of the IG Stories, I want to hit this really quickly. I had this on the rundown. Did you guys hear about the IG battle proposed between Ja Rule and 50 Cent?
No, sounds good.
Who was it proposed by? The fans?
Dude, so that's the funny thing. That's the hilarious part of this whole thing. All right, so Ja Rule saying they couldn't do the battle, blah, 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 blah. And he's saying that I don't know if, here's a direct quote, I don't know if me and him can do that. I don't know if that would work. Just for respect for the culture, I would never want to disrespect the culture. and let me and his little thing get into the love and respect of what Versus has brought to the culture for each other's catalog and the artistry. I would never want to tarnish that. So that's a direct quote from Ja Rule. But so it sounds like Ja Rule's backing out of the battle or saying, hey, we know we can't do this professionally or like they would want it, right? And do you agree with that for the most part?
Yeah. They're not on great terms still, I don't think. But I actually saw Swiss speak on it on his live with Tim, and he was just like, he wouldn't do that unless both of them can reassure him and Tim that it wouldn't be any beef. They would just be like, this is for educational purposes, this is for the culture, this is not to reignite some old beef that they had. And he was like, at this point, I don't feel like they can assure me that, and so they're not doing it on the platform.
So yeah, he goes on. He says he likes to talk dirty. There's no way we can be casual or cordial. He likes to be petty and silly, so it couldn't happen. There's only been one battle that got a little sideways, Josh said, continuing, and that's how Swiss and them want it. I don't even remember a battle that got sideways. I don't know what he's talking about. Who got sideways?
Between John 50?
No, I think he was talking about an IG battle, I guess, or one of the Versus battles. He likes to be petty and silly, so it couldn't happen. There's only been one battle that's a little sideways, Josh said, continuing. And that's how Swiss and them want it, end quote.
I mean, would you say like the Scott Storch Manny Fresh? Like Manny was kind of throwing shots, but I don't think it was serious.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was just funny stuff. I didn't think it got sideways.
Little skits about him waking up.
Yeah, that did get a little personal, huh?
And he was like, oh, okay. Like Scott Storch was like, oh, okay, all right.
Dude, when you told me, so that was fun. That's what's funny about that battle is when you told me that initially, you were like, oh man, he had some skits. I thought they were pretty whack, all this stuff. I was like, oh, okay. And then I started watching the battle, and that was one of like the earlier ones where it's like he asked Siri, hey Siri, find Scott Storch. And then it's like, I can't find Scott Storch. It's like, find super producer Scott Storch. She's like, I can't find super producer Scott Storch. And it's like, hey,
and then it got like real.
Find producer that blew millions on hookers and cocaine. Yeah. And was
dinners.
In debt or some shit. Yeah. And it was like, oh, do you mean Scott Storch? It was hilarious. But I thought that part was funny. But the rest of them were not. Yeah, it wasn't that funny. But that one was good. I thought that one was pretty classic.
It's the only one I could think of that would be somewhat sideways.
So the whole thing that's funny about this Ja Rule commenting on 50 Cent battle is Ja Rule is the one that proposed the battle. He's the one that brought it up initially on somebody's IG live. So now when 50 is coming with the smoke, he's like, there's just no way we can do it. So why bring it up? If you knew that in the first place, why bring it up? Why bring it to the table? Because people want to see it. But I mean, I would totally agree. It would have to be a thing where it's like, I just don't think it would work either.
They should just do it on their own.
What do you mean?
Like, it's not going to work on Versus, but they can do their own battle on their own platforms.
Oh, I don't think they would want to, though. That's what I'm saying. I think 50 loves to troll Ja Rule, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I think he's going to do that until the end of time. But I think Ja Rule, there is no trolling over there. There is no, like, he just wants to, like, dead it and be cool, or just don't talk to me anymore. He doesn't want to troll. He doesn't want to go back and forth and throw shots. He doesn't want any beef or any, like, he's just trying to move on.
50. That's never going to stop.
Exactly. He's not like that. He's going to troll him forever. It's till the end of time. This is going to be what it is. It's going to be Young Buck.
Yeah.
Situation. He's never gonna let that go. 410K on the Versus battle. Skinner. Oh, geez. Is that true, Jalal? Verify it.
Let's verify it.
I'm seeing 411.
I'm getting nervous. 411. It was 412 last time at the highest. So how's the quality? Do you guys know?
Mine still says we're having trouble loading this video, so it's not good on here.
Maybe it's
mine is working, but it's working on the computer only. I'm trying to do it on my phone. It's not working. So only on the Chrome extension is it working.
How many more people would they have if it was working on the mobile devices?
Dude, way more. Probably at
I'm
least
just saying.
over 500K.
Like mine, I can't.
You're saying 412K downloaded the extension? I doubt it. I think
No.
no.
It's probably that the other one just got overloaded. Like the main way got
Right.
overloaded, and some people are on the extension.
Oh, maybe it taps out at like a certain number, and you can't get up over that. So I can win anyway.
But there's been lives that
know
are
that.
There's been lives that are way over this though. I'm pretty sure.
Skinner said he's watching on the iPad. Face is smooth, but Teddy's choppy.
That's what I'm using right here. And I can't load the fucking video. So I don't know.
In the chat, Dan, a lot of good basketball chat going on. And also, my man Brian came through. Colorado governor says stay-at-home order will expire tomorrow. Look at that, Dow.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yep. Stay-at-home order.
I'm not ready.
Well, it's supposed to end April 26th.
Yep.
Who saw
in the chat
tomorrow?
He said tomorrow.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Next week. I don't know why I said tomorrow. He said next week.
Yeah, the 26th is like certain counties and stuff like that, but Denver order is like May 1st. So by May 1st, we're gonna have I think that's the first phase of discontinuing some of this stuff, and I think there's 3 phases. So it's gonna be a battle coming back, but you got to open it at some point, man. The economy continues to just go in the shitter, but again, state by state, you got to just make the best decision you can to like try to save lives. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
We just need gear, man. Everybody's got to go back to work, but we need equipment. We need masks.
We need equipment
the right
and testing.
Things.
That's it. We need equipment and testing for sure.
Yeah, we can't sit around in our house forever, but we need more equipment.
So what do you think's going to happen then? Where do we go? I mean, so if the stay-at-home order ends next week, what happens from here? Everyone just floods out.
It's just going to be a long process of small outbreaks, small lockdowns here and there, going back and forth, because there's nothing in place to prevent it. Like,
so you think we're going back into quarantine? You think after next week there's going to be hey, we need a 2-week stay-at-home order, please?
I think it's very likely.
Yeah, I think there's going to be certain counties that they're going to be monitoring really closely with that. And I think versus like Denver itself or whatever, I think you're going to see, Arapahoe County goes into stay-at-home orders for the next, 2 weeks. I think you're going to see counties up and down, and those are going to be swinging because they're going to really decipher it, like where's the most population, where are most of these outbreaks happening, and and I think they're only going to get that information every week and a half to 2 weeks, and then they're going to have to reevaluate, and there's going to be some big decisions for sure.
So how do they decide on who can go to work, who's not, like who can go look for jobs, who's not, how many people can be out looking for a job, or, like, what does that mean? The stay-at-home order ends. So what? Does everyone go back to work? Everyone's just.
Well, they did put some guidelines in place. There's a little screenshot here of the Colorado one. So
yeah, I've got it as well. Go ahead.
You got it. Yeah, you have the doing my part CO one.
Yeah, for sure. The stay at home. So I have the commercial side and the personal side. So I guess, I guess we'll just talk about like the business side, right? Franchise. Cause you asked kind of about jobs, that type of stuff. So right now we're at a stay at home order, and the goal was math, right? So we wanted to achieve 75% to 80% physical distancing. And we've done that here in Colorado. So that's why come the 26th, we're going to go ahead and loosen some of these sanctions that have been in order. So what the next step is, so the first step was stay at home order, right? The next step is called safer at home. And really the difference is numbers, right? So achieving 75 to 80% physical distancing. Now they're going to release it a little bit and still want to achieve 60 to 65% physical distancing. So it's very closely related to what we just were. But here's what it is. The vulnerable population and seniors have to stay at home except when absolutely necessary. This was the same order that they initially had. No change. Critical businesses open with strict precautions as every business or every person in that business wearing a mask and still keeping social distancing. Nursing homes and congregate care facilities, strict precautions and protections. You cannot leave. Retail, here's the big change. It was only critically open, right? Only the critical jobs open. Now, open for curbside delivery, phased in public opening, strict precautions. Everybody that's out, that's working in these places have to wear a mask, and you have to have like these retail spaces. You're going to have, just like you would go to Walmart or King Soopers, you have the stickers on the floor where you have to keep distance. So you're going to have these protocols. And if these retail companies do not have these in place, they cannot be open. So that's kind of the next step. So it's really math. And if they don't achieve the 60 to 65% physical distancing, based off of, week by week or every 2 weeks, whenever they reevaluate this, then we'll go back, they said, into the stay-at-home orders for certain counties. And that be
look at that. Blake G said Hancock says stay-at-home order for Denver could extend past 4:30. Said it today.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, Denver is a little different, a little bit more populated. So
Crazy. So Denver's going to be different than the rest of the state.
I would think so. And I also would think like you got to watch Aurora, Arapahoe County, Aurora, same thing. Aurora is densely populated as well, so I think right behind Denver, Aurora's next. And if they don't keep their shit together, we're going to have stay-at-home orders back, in the likes of Aurora as well.
So once all this it ends next week, we start having people go out and stuff. If we start seeing flare-ups again in numbers and cases, you think they're just going to go back to right now the way we are, stay-at-home order the way it is?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Yeah. I think, again, county by county.
We overreacted. It's too quick. We went too quick.
Yeah, we grew too rapidly. We're not keeping our numbers between that 60 and 65 percentile. We've, back to square one. I think you're going to see a lot of that throughout the next probably 2 to 3 months. You're going to see a lot of changes. And you're going to have to be very, very adaptable through this.
Yep.
Crazy, man. Oof,
yeah.
Crazy.
It is scary for sure. And
430. Okay.
I still don't see live events happening this year. I don't. Any live events, whether it's sporting events, concerts. Again, I'm not an expert by any stretch, but I just don't. I think live events with more than let's say more than 20 people, maybe more than 30. You're not going to see it this year. I stand by that.
It's crazy, man, because I have tickets to a few concerts and more than a few tickets, and they're not trying to give refunds or anything. They're like, well, it's postponed. It's not canceled. So we're not offering refunds. And I'm like, dude, the event's getting canceled. Just give me my money back. Like, there's no way. Right. I got tickets to like the weekend. That's not happening in July, Pepsi Center. And it's like, I just got money tied up in tickets. And I'm like, man, they refuse to give me the money back. And then like the credit card companies even are not offering any help to like dispute the charge. So it sucks.
So it's like it's like a waiting game. It's like,
wait until they cave and actually cancel the event, which they're not going to do until the absolute last minute or multiple postponements. So stupid.
That's the worst, bro. Sorry to hear that.
It's all good.
You don't think any live events at all this whole year, Hundell?
I don't think so. No, not at this point. Especially.
Wait. You said concerts. Sorry. Does that include sports and stuff too, right?
Yeah. Anything.
Everything,
I would say anything with 30 plus. Let's just say anything 50 plus gatherings. I just don't see happening unless of course like a vaccine and or a cure happens. But a vaccine's not going to be done by the end of this year. That's probably into next year. But treatment plans and or cures for it. There's race for cure. I think Johnson & Johnson just came out 2 or 3 days ago, and they're making some good headway through this in terms of getting a cure, not necessarily a vaccine. And the difference between the two are really, really mild. But vaccination essentially ends it. A cure is more of like treatment and getting people right that get it and and curing them. But until either of those happen and they're concrete, and there just has to be so much time that passes for these trials of any sort. So for this year, I just think it's canceled. I really do, man. Live events are done this year.
Sorry, my dog's going off in the
I heard
background
him.
now.
Yeah,
And the camera's
man.
jumping over to me, which I knew
What's even-
the mic was picking it up. It's not good.
What's even
Sorry.
worse is some of these venues might not even survive. Like some of our favorite venues in the city, if it doesn't happen through the end of the year, there's no way they're going to be able to survive. They're going to just have to fold.
Yeah, you look at like the Marquee, which is a great little venue, and it's got a pizza spot connected to it that is super fire. There's no way that they could do it. The Soiled Dove, that has, I think, what's that restaurant? The Tavern above it or something. Like you see these like low key places, maybe even like the Summit Music Hall, for God's sakes, because they just got done renovating. So they're probably in over their heads with money. I don't see how these places are going to survive. Like a lot of these places just aren't sitting on a bunch of capital,
Yeah. And you got ones that just opened up. Mission Ballroom just opened up.
Oh yeah. They
Granted,
spent a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They probably got big money behind them. So I mean, I don't know. But either way, you're losing a ton of money.
Here's what we need to do. We need to get all the Colorado people in our crew here. We're gonna all pool our money together. We're gonna buy one of these venues on the cheap when everything starts coming back up.
Hell yeah.
We're just gonna own Fiddler's Green or something.
That'd be sick.
I'm with it.
How funny would that be?
God dang.
I don't know about Fiddlers.
The most underrated venture.
Go get the Bluebird or something.
The Bluebird, the small, little smaller. Fiddler's a little crazy.
Maybe we'll go get the Gothic. How about that?
Shoot, let's do it.
Oh, my aunt! Look at that! I saw entertainers were led to believe the concerts wouldn't happen until 2021. Right with you, Del. There you go.
Yeah, I think so, man. That's tough.
I think what we're seeing though too is, even though this is real and it's like it's a serious thing, I think what like governments and people in power are doing is they're making it sound even worse, so that when maybe things come back quicker than they said, they look like they handled the situation better, and this is what was projected to be infected or die, and this is because of our great management. I've already heard, I think, Cuomo say like, because of the great job that we've done, a lot less people died than projected. So it sounds like they might be trying to like overdo it and make people even more scared so that they look better in the future.
That could be, especially with elections in November. So I can bite that, Jalal, and I think there's some validity to that. I can believe that.
Yeah.
So
Donald Trump comes through in November, wins the election because we open up the live events and live venues, like 2 weeks before the actual election, Trump wins again. Oh geez. What a mess. But I could
as a small business owner, Conley in the chat said lots of small businesses will not survive, sadly. As a small business owner, what's the best plan of attack here? Is it bail on your lease that you're in currently? If you're renting a spot, a lot of small businesses are, you're not probably owning the place you're in. So do you just bail on that lease and say, oh, cool, see you, save your money, stack your capital, try to do anything you can for online business? If you can't do any online business, you just shut it down. Let people know on your website and social media we're out of business currently, and then you at least have the money to go get back into a place once things get back going. And now you're back to normal. You didn't really lose that much. Or do you have so much inventory and so much stuff that you're just screwed? Like you're totally sunk. All your money's wrapped up in that. And you're just
it's tough because it's like if you're in an established place, established location, you've taken years to build that. You don't want to just bail on that, right? Like somebody like us, we can go bail on a studio. It doesn't really matter. And that's probably the smart thing to do. But like a restaurant or a store that's built their footprint in the community, you don't want to just bail on your store. But I say whatever you got to do to survive this time, you should just do. To get through it.
I think what's going to happen is some of these, mom and pop shops, I think not necessarily the more well-established, but I think some of the smaller ones, boutiques, things like that, they may close up their doors and then maybe rebrand after this thing kind of blows over. Maybe they start a new tax ID, kind of new branding, new logo, new merch, whatever. And they still have a lot of their inventory from the past that doesn't really grow old necessarily, which may not be the boutique, segment. But I think you're going to see a lot of LLCs and a lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of tax IDs being closed. But then I think eventually you'll see things reopen under new branding, new names, that type of stuff that are going to be affiliates of companies that did shut down. That's probably what I see.
If you can, I mean, if you can pivot somehow in your business, like I have a friend that has a cafe in New York City, and they obviously shut down, and all they sell like teas and like it's chai tea, but basically they made like these little DIY kits and they're shipping them all over the country. They sold like gift cards so that when things do open back up, like they kind of get that money now, but they'll be able to service those customers in the future. Like they've opened up a couple new revenue streams during all this, which, you know, if you look at it on the positive side, you might not have ever done some of those things if you weren't forced to. So I feel like if there's things you can do in your business to pivot, online, delivery, shipping, something, try all those things first before you kind of throw in the towel.
For sure.
Look at this. Look at speaking of our measures and what we're doing here. Look at Ro. We have had 4 deaths and 0 cases the last 3 days in a row in South Australia, and we're still not opening up yet. That's some extremely low numbers, and they're not opening.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you think? Do you think the city's feeling pressure from people with the protesters and all this shit to open back up right at that 26?
Not only from the people, from the federal government.
Dude, we're getting a lot of pressure from Trump, the administration, the government, dog. They're wanting to flip switches now.
Like Trump was saying, you know, we're going to let people decide what they want, but he also kind of gave the impression that if they don't decide to reopen, there's going to be some type of pressure from the government.
In the chat, this is very, very funny. Yeah, let's do this. Let me bring this up, and we'll just go into sneakers from here.
Tight.
First of all, 455,000 on IG Live is the latest update from Misha.
I'm seeing 468.5 right now.
Shit.
Getting close.
468.5. Yeah, that's not like a new radio station. God damn.
I think John King completely left us to go to there to monitor that number.
He's got.
He'll be back right when it hits 500K. Once it's 501, he's back in the he's in the chat hammering in all caps. But guaranteed.
Talking about LeBron, he's gonna say LeBron and myself are the GOATs.
Hammering.
Known.
He's gonna have a victory speech.
Oh shit.
He is, yeah. Let me hit this. Blake G and Misha. Blake G said, "Who's getting screwed on payouts from consignment shops?" Misha said, "Me." They went back and forth and said, you know, they were like, "Oh, I wonder if it's the same shop, blah, 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 blah." Misha said, "Mine starts with a V and ends with ISIS."
Dang.
So that's a store named Vices here in Denver. And I'm curious, what are you guys not getting paid, or what do you mean? Like, what are they doing? Are they being shady, or what's up?
Have they at least communicated? Yeah. Are they being transparent with what's going on with their business? Are they answering DMs? What does that look like? Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are owed money right now, like start applying pressure, because some of these businesses are gonna, get filed for bankruptcy, and if they owe you money, they might not have to pay you if they do that.
Right. What do you do at that point? Yeah. What do you do?
I go get your product.
So I'm curious. Let me know what's going on over there. I'm genuinely curious on what's going on with your consignments or what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put anyone on blast, but at the same time, you know, it's not like I haven't been shown any extra love from that shop since I've been in this game. So these 2 cats in the chat have shown me tons of love. So they're getting fucked over. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sales from February totaling over $1,000 not paid. 5 emails in the past 3 weeks unanswered from Blake G.
Damn.
Communication and payouts coming soon, Misha said. I got $4K in payouts missing, Misha said. Holy shit, bro.
Wow.
Oh my
Holy
God.
hell. Dude,
yeah, you got
us three as broke as we are, man. 4K. Oh my God.
Are they communicating to you about that, Mish? Like, are they saying it's coming, or are they just kind of hopefully you're not getting ghosted? That's a different story.
We'll roll with you down there if you need.
Blake said, Ooh, we need to powder up our pimp hands and set some fools straight. Funny shit. Still got 100 pairs there. Oh my God.
No.
Misha.
And he can't go get them because their doors aren't open. Like he's literally handcuffed in so many ways.
Wow.
God,
Blake
man.
said ghosted. Misha says
geez.
stringing me along. So maybe it's because they have different numbers. Blake's got a G worth. Misha's got 4K worth. So it's like, we'll just ghost this full of G. Nothing. 4K, let me string him along a little. Let me make him feel a little bit of love.
String stain.
Oh, yeah, let me give him some string stain. Fuck, that sucks, bro. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
I just
sorry.
got an order from Goat too, and I just sent it out today. So I'm a little nervous about that. How long that's gonna take, or if I'm gonna get that payout soon.
Dude, like I said, mine was a week and a day, and a week and 2 days, the last two. So I think you'd be all right, dude. If you can wait a week and a day and a week and 2 days. And that was last week, so should be all right.
Cool. Was it shipping yours to California or what?
Yes, one of them went to Jersey and one of them went to California. The Jersey one got authenticated a little bit quicker, but it was a week and 2 days whole process for me shipping it out to getting paid on the California one.
Gotcha.
Let's start with the topic of the day for sneakers, the 420 Dunk raffle.
Yeah.
Did you guys all get in there?
I was able to, yeah. Misha helped out, sent me a link, and I was able to click in there. I think I had like 2.5 minutes. That clock, I don't know if that clock was regulation. That thing was moving quick. I felt like.
I know it said it was going to go from 420 to 424, 4 minutes only, but that thing, was going.
That clock was smoking for sure. And then of course there was people having trouble with the submit, like it wouldn't. You did the CAPTCHA.
Oh, dude, it wouldn't load.
And it wouldn't load. So mine did, and it said thank you. But you couldn't sign into CopDate. Whether you had an account or not, you couldn't create one. You couldn't. And the rule is with the raffle, you already had to have an account, or you had to set up an account before you got into the raffle because they're going to validate that. But
so anyone that submitted, I mean, if you don't have a CopDate account through the app, you're not going to be able to win.
Right.
Because they're going to verify that the email submitted matches up with the email that's on the CopDate account.
Correct.
So, which actually is good for people like us to have that, Dal, because it makes the pool even smaller. So maybe,
maybe
better possibilities. Hey,
yeah.
I mean, you can only hope.
We didn't see any local skate shops with that, huh?
Nobody. There's only 420 pairs, dude. Nobody else. That was it.
Right.
That was it. And it's crazy that those guys that it's not to say nothing against Familia, but it's crazy that they got selected to be the shop to get to do this. That was nobody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I wonder how that went down. Obviously, I know they have a big name in the industry and they're big and they've been around a long time, but I'm just saying there's a lot of shops like that, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's interesting.
So you made it just in time, right? You had did you say you had 11 seconds left?
When I was trying to click submit, it would not submit. And it was just like loading. And then finally it just clicked through. And I was like, the time was counting down. Finally it clicked through, 11 seconds left. I felt like Indiana Jones when he slides through and grabs his hat underneath the door. I was
crazy.
like, wow.
You guys got to keep me on point because I can't keep up with all this stuff. Send me all the links, and I'm following so many different sneaker accounts too, but it's just like by the time I see it, it's like everything's already gone.
Yeah, it's overtime. Yeah.
Did you get Angelo? Sorry,
I saw it, but I didn't know it was directly through that link. So I went to CopDate and I was trying to log in, and it kept saying error.
Yeah.
And so no, I didn't get in.
Damn it.
I did get something else today though, which I'll show you guys.
No.
Talk about sneakers.
You couldn't log into CopDate. Nobody could. CopDate, the app they should change the C just to a poop emoji on your phone. That whole app, you can't do anything. You can't log in. You can't change the password. You can't do anything.
So normally you can't at all. Before you couldn't, because I thought it was just overload.
No, today it's overload, but I don't know. The past 2 or 3 times I've tried to use it, I've had issues.
Yeah. Anytime there's a dunk or something hyped coming out, within 2 days of the release, the app starts shitting the bed. So you have to be weeks out maybe to be able to get that app to work for you. I don't know. I'm with you.
Okay.
Jalal, were you saying you had my bad, I cut you off. Were you saying you had a pickup for today? Or you picked up something and you have it in the mail?
I had a pickup. No, it's coming in the mail. It was a raffle, but it's not for a sneaker. It's
okay.
Something else. But we can finish up sneakers and then I'll show you guys.
All right, Dow, speaking of mail, the court purples, those are supposed to be here today. And I signed into USPS. It says they're coming on 420, but then it says, now I see a thing that says arriving late. There's no details on what arriving late means. Does that mean it's arriving later than normal today, or it's not arriving on 420 anymore? It's arriving late, meaning later than 420. What does arriving late mean on USPS?
That's interesting. Did it ever say that it was out for delivery? At any point? Do you know today?
Ooh, I'll look.
That's got to be arriving at a different day.
USPS
is not giving you an update on the same day like that.
Because if it said out for delivery at some point today, you should be good. If it did not, then yeah, dude, it's coming tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it says Tuesday, April 21st now. Just updated.
Yep.
Okay, alrighty then.
Well, at least you're getting the court purples. Mine, however, there was a link that was sent out on Saturday, and I was like, I'm waiting until the stores open back up. I'll get the court purples then. I still stand by that, but I wanted to see if this link, it was from Soul Links. They sent it out on a restock. I think it was for Foot Locker, and I was able to get through, used Apple Pay super quick, got a confirmation, took a screenshot of that. Haven't sent an email since. No tracking, no order confirmation, nothing. This morning I looked, and my bank account, they had pulled the money out, which I think was like $181 after tax and shipping. No problem, whatever. And about an hour before the cast today, I got an email from whoever it was. I can't remember if I used PayPal or Apple Pay. It might have been PayPal, but I got an email saying, hey, Foot Locker is actually canceled the order and we will be refunding you the money in the next 1 to 3 days. So I tried to get the court purples. At least you have them. Mine was canceled. I'll wait till stores open back up. So there's my court purple story for you.
Dang, dude.
So I was kind of looking forward to having it. Maybe I really like that lace set, that lavender lace. I really like those, man. I think I've seen a couple on feets with that lavender lace set. I think they look incredible. The black, it's cool, but that shoe doesn't mean anything to me. But the lavender laces, for some odd reason, do something for me. And I wouldn't mind having the pair now.
Tell me about the Supreme MLB collab this week. We didn't really talk Supreme last week. It was pretty booty.
Right.
But the Supreme MLB collab for this week, what is that?
You know what? It sounds really good. And it's very similar. Do you remember the NBA collab?
Oh, is it not good? You're about to let me down?
Oh, dude, it is the worst. If you go to supremecommunity.com, right, they have the drop list out. So you can go to that real quick. But it's awful. Okay. I'll just be honest with you as you're pulling it up. It's Letterman jacket is kind of it's the Supreme New Era MLB varsity jacket. And it has the big S on the right side of the breast. And then the other side is like you vomited all the fucking teams down from the top of the breast all the way down to the last snap. It is one of the most awful jackets I've ever seen. I would take 7 NASCAR jackets over that one. That's how bad it is.
Wow, Dow, I don't think it's that bad.
Dude, I think that jacket is awful to me.
It just screams early 2000s to me, but it's not that bad.
I think it's awful, dude. Like, I mean, without all those patches, I think it'd be a nice little jacket, but I'm kind of a plain Jane. But it looks
it doesn't ever look like something you would wear. But back in the day, guy, let me tell you.
No, tell me that doesn't look like a mistake. It looks like somebody tripped. They had all these logos in their fucking hand, and they literally tripped, over a stick on the sidewalk, and all these patches came out of their hands and just flew out like a bunch of groceries out of a grocery bag and landed on the left side only of this jacket. No spacing, no reason, no rhyme. It is awful. Awful. That's what I see.
Dude, let me tell you this really quick. Back in the day in high school, I had a jersey that just had a ton of MLB patches all over the baseball jersey. It was a white baseball, like Yankee pinstripe jersey. Yeah. But it just had all the different teams, just tons of patches all over it. And then I had a matching New Era hat, just like the Supreme one, or just like the one shown right there, dude. Just the same. God. I didn't have a jacket, but I had a jersey. And it wasn't like this all on one side. The jersey, the patches just were all over the place. But dude, I wore that outfit. I wore that fit for a talent show where I performed So Into You by Fabulous with this girl I was going to school with at the time.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my
I wish
God.
I had footage. I'm sure somebody does have footage. I'm sure if I got like deep into the Facebook community, I could probably dig up that footage. I'm just not active on Facebook very much.
You gotta find that.
So Into You footage.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, it was either that one or it was another one. I know I wore it for a talent show. I did multiple talent shows at school. I know I wore it. I know I did. There was this like Mr. GWHS pageant that we used to have, and you'd have to go out and model swimwear, evening wear, and then perform a talent of some what. And there was these girls from the college, UNC. They would go get these girls from UNC that were the judges of this high school pageant, Mr. GWHS. Shit was fire. It was fun. And you could only do it if you were a junior, senior. So you could only do it your junior and senior year. So it was fun though. Yeah, I had so much fun doing that. It was great time.
Misha says it was on your MySpace.
No,
You gotta find that.
No, it was before that. It was before that.
Yeah. Could I download that track that you did on Napster full by any chance? No?
You could if you want to.
Fair enough.
No,
so
you can't.
yeah, man, this jacket, like I said, I mean, it's obviously it's going to be hyped. I'm sure there's going to be some people that like it, but oh my God, is it awful? And that's probably going to cost you, between $200 and $300 pretty easy. I don't even know if it goes over that, but I see that jacket probably retail, because we haven't seen the pricing yet. I don't think has been announced. Usually that's like Tuesday or Wednesday you start seeing pricing, but I'm going to guess that jacket is $288.
$288. That's good.
That's what I'm guessing that jacket's going to retail for.
I like
and the
that.
hat, dude, I would wear the jacket over the hat. So don't even get me started on the hat. The hat is the easiest fucking pass of all time for me on Supreme. It is the easiest pass. Absolutely.
Why?
Awful. It doesn't make
You wouldn't
any
wear
sense.
that?
No, there's no rhyme
No,
or
I'm just
reason.
kidding. I wouldn't either. The other one was uncomfortable. That's what I was gonna say. The one I had, it was very uncomfortable because the stitching on the inside and shit. It would like be pulling on your hair. That was when I had hair. It was not good.
Gotcha.
I didn't like it.
Now the other stuff. So this is obviously a week where they, in the past they've done it right. I'm trying to think. God, I can't even think of the bands in the past, but this is another week where they're doing a collab with another artist. This week it happens to be My Bloody Valentine. I don't know much about these guys. They're from the UK. They're from Dublin. They've been a band since 1983. Their lineup stayed the same since 1987. That being said, their music is best known for merging different guitar textures, like earth-real melodies, as they call them, and unorthodox production techniques. So very artsy. Supreme has done a lot of stuff with, art projects in the past, a lot of collabs. So I guess just, a band that I'm not too familiar with. Some of their hit songs include Only Shallow. Their other big one is called Sometimes. And then their third one is called Soon. So I don't know much else about them, but yet again, this is another week where they're doing a interesting, maybe avant-garde, band. So some of their stuff is cool, but again, I don't have any rhyme or reason to like or even love my Bloody Valentine. I'm not familiar, so there's nothing that is really appealing to anything that they're doing with that collab as well this week. So that's what I would say.
Dal, the Russell Westbrook Why Not
Yes.
Zeros dropping on Thursday on the Sneakers app at 8 a.m.
I feel like we
Tell me
shouldn't
about
talk
those.
about this because I think you and I both want these. I know I do for sure.
I'm a little disappointed.
Are you?
I saw the official packaging today. You were like, yo, you see the official packaging. I looked it up.
Yeah.
I thought they were a Super Soaker collab, or they were like Super Soaker branded. They're not. They're
not.
generic. They're biting
Yeah.
Super Soaker and
They're-
calling
they're
it something else so they don't have to pay Super Soaker. So
You
actually,
got it.
I don't really give a shit. I'll go for this shoe to get it, but I'll sell this thing quicker than, I'll sell it for top value. I don't need to hang on to this thing.
For
They
sure.
tricked me. They called it, now they're calling it the Splash Zone. It is not Super Soaker. There's no Super Soaker branding.
None.
I'm done with it. Go ahead.
I think so. I still like it. I love the packaging. I'm a sucker for packages. I love how they say the no batteries included on it. I love ages 0 to 99 on it. The little seal that would normally say like the authentication seal that's on top that would normally have Nerf written in there. It says new. So I mean, when you look at it, it still reminds me of good times. It still feels fun. It still feels like when I was a
Classic
kid.
Dal response.
So yeah,
It
so I'm
reminds
still in
me
it.
of fun. It feels fun.
And the shoe
Great.
actually has like, I think they're probably just like hot glue patches, but there's little bitty hot glue patches on it that make it look like it's been splashed by water. So that's a unique and interesting detail. I don't know what the longevity of something like that is, but I think the attention to detail, the colors, the splash on the insole, it's enough resemblance for me to remember a certain time in my childhood and something that I can appreciate, even though the way it actually looks, the realistic look, like not how much it means to you.
So you can remember
there's-
going to the dollar store and getting a squirt gun that you thought was you were told was a super soaker, and then it wasn't
Yeah.
a super soaker, and you were disappointed because it was broken 5 minutes. Yeah, it was tight, Dal. Reminds me of
And
the
all
good
your-
times.
And all your friends beat your ass because they thought, oh, I thought you were cool. And then all of a sudden you lost 6 friends. You know, your parents are mean because they just fucking spent this money and you just left it outside. And meanwhile, it got crushed. You know, your sister and her friends came over and destroyed it. And then you get your ass swatted by your dad for not respecting product which they bought for you. Is that
It
what
sounds like
happened?
a
was very
personal story.
specific.
That sounds like a very deep personal story.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not for sure.
And then
But,
you get your ass swatted. I'm fucking dead.
The coolest part about this, you could see there's the detail with the water right there. I think.
that's what I was
That's
saying.
what he was talking about with the little
I think that's
splashes of
sick.
glue or
Yeah.
I think that's probably hot glue. And I don't, like I said, I don't know the longevity, but as a collector, I'm going to keep it in the package. I'm not wearing that shoe because they say that Why Not shoe is a good shoe to ball in, but it is uncomfortable. You would not, and you should not wear that as a lifestyle shoe. So mine will stay in the packaging. It's cool to display. And then when the money's right, I'd probably sell it because, you know, I had my collector feel of it. I owned it for a little while and I'll let somebody else enjoy it. But, I still think it's cool. I'm going after it come Thursday. $170, little steep, especially since it doesn't have the actual, you know, branding of Super Soaker. I can see why you would pass, but for me, I'm still going.
Dal, you got a light in there, or what's up, man?
I do. Is it a little
We're-
dark?
Yeah, it's
looking
like
at
you're sitting in the
little
closet.
table scraps.
Yeah, it's
table scraps.
a little Ted Nern over here. Shit.
Oh,
How's
nice
that? Is that better?
Oh, table scraps blast.
Oh, now you're just okay. There you go.
There you
Nice.
go.
Disappeared
How about
for a
that?
second.
All right.
That's
So are
good.
we good on the Westbrooks? Because if you want to add anything franchise, you sure can. If you want to tell me a childhood story that's relatable, you sure can. Otherwise, I do have a pair of shoes in studio today.
Rose says it sounds like Dal got beat.
For sure. Dude,
I
if I
hated the effing
disrespected
twist. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, if I disrespected, especially product, I mean, I was born and raised on a farm. So, you know, if it was a bicycle, if it was a golf club, if it was whatever, my dad was a big stickler, you know, if product wasn't taken care of, that he spent,
Your
that he
toys,
spent,
you mean?
yeah. I mean, toys, bicycles, whatever. Anything.
Take another hit of the weed, Dal. Your product wasn't taken care of. Like you're managing a T-Mobile store. Is that what the verbiage he used with you?
Probably, yeah. Anything that
Now!
wasn't, yeah.
Product
can
ain't
you
taken care of.
How can you disrespect this product? Get your ass ready. When I get home, it's on.
I'm sorry
no
to cut
shit.
you off. The product wasn't taken care of. What?
Yeah, if product wasn't taken care of, if it was disrespected, and that was stuff that they spent hard-earned money, because my dad was as frugal as they came. Like he just, I mean, dude, when we'd go to a convenience store, you know, after we'd play tennis, my dad took me to play tennis at the age of 5, and we continued playing like through high school, went to state all 4 years, all that. I owe a lot to him for that. And it was great times. But, you know, anytime we'd get done and, you know, he'd go get some cigarettes and he'd get whatever, a drink. He'd let me get the smallest drink out of the fountain. I couldn't get any bottled drinks because those were too expensive. So like if I wanted a 60 cent like Mountain Dew, I could have that. But if I tried to add a soda and candy bar combination, oh my God, I'd get do you think money grows on trees? You want to work for that? What do you plan on doing this week? I'm like, Dad, it's a fucking candy bar, for God's sakes. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll let you get a Jolly Rancher. And at that time, remember, it was those single Jolly Ranchers that retailed for like 3 cents a piece for a single Jolly Rancher. So he'd let me get that.
Dude, I remember that.
Let me get one of those and a soda pop, and that was it. So, hey, I was lucky to get anything at all.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, but that's the moral story.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I was lucky to get anything at all. But all right, man, I'll show you a pair of shoes here. So I got a steal from Goat, and it was one of those that were I wanted to test that kind of pre-authenticated, where it's already pre-verified through Goat.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of see and not pay a lot of money, obviously, and get a shoe that I kind of wanted. And I wanted to see kind of what that processing looks like with Goat being as slow as they are, StockX. I bought it on a Monday and I had it here on a Thursday, I believe. So it was really quick. No issues with it. The box is super nice, but I got me a pair of Jordan 1's. Let me get the box out here.
How's the weed feeling, by the way, Dallas, real quick?
I think it's worn off. I think I'm going for another hit here, but here's the box. Nothing crazy. Jordan 1 retail for $160. The colorway on this is olive, canvas, and sail. So I don't have any olive sneakers when it comes to like Jordans or sneakers or highs. I used to have a pair. I had the pair of olive 2.0 Ultra Boosts and have now sold those. So I don't really think I have any olive shoes now that I'm thinking about it. So come fall, when we're able to get out of this quarantine shit for real and go to restaurants and shit, I'm ready for it. And this is the shoe that I got here. So
nice.
It says Nike and then Air on one side. So the other one says Nike. This one says Air. It comes with the olive laces. I put in the sail laces because they go really well with that sail midsole. So I think that's a great look there. It does have the leather tongue with the Nike Air instead of the nylon that a lot of Jordan 1's have. So, there's a lot of old heads that are like, oh, that leather, why did they do that? Get the nylon. But I kind of like them. I will tell you, these came out in 2018. A lot of people just really didn't take a second look at them.
They came out with the orange pair, right?
The orange and
together,
olive.
yeah.
Yes, you got it. You got it. And so, yeah, it was kind of a dual release on that segment, but it's all leather except this toe box. We've got satin. It's like a satiny material there. And you've got the satin at the top here versus like that really soft leather that they usually do outside. And then the leather tag outside of that, except for the branding as well. It's a typical Jordan 1. The leather's not super, super stiff. This came out in 2018. So it wasn't like that 2012, 2013 leather that we just all hate, but yet they had some good concepts at that time. There's the Nike on that side. But yeah, man, a cool shoe. I think super easy to wear. Again, olive is a great fall colorway. Needed that. Robin loves them. And they retail for $160. I got them for $95 shipped.
Damn. Were they
pre-verified as well?
What was condition on them?
Dead stock.
Those are DS for $95.
DS 95.
Why is
verified.
the size tag ripped off? That's what made me think
know.
they were used.
No, I don't know why that is. No,
gotcha.
I bought them completely dead stock. And again, the box,
or not the size tag, but the dollar.
Price tag.
Yeah,
the price tag, which usually would be right here. Yeah, I don't know why that's ripped off.
That's why I thought they were used. And $95 when you told me $95, I was like, oh, cool. Did you cop those 95 DS? That's awesome.
And dude, I don't have an olive colorway, so I think they're super easy to wear. You throw Hefe Lux in there. I mean,
love the lace swap too. Way better than the olive that's in there. The lace swap is a must. Great job on that, my guy.
That's like too much olive, dude.
Just go put those in your Travis 6s and call it a night.
No, I love the yellow in the Travis 6s. The yellow is the only way to go.
Me too.
Those, so yeah,
dope.
Man, that's what I got. The only other thing with sneakers, I would say, Jalal needs help this week. Anybody that wants to help out Jalal with the fear of God, stealth, the Batman joints, and not.
Oh, I thought you were gonna clown.
No, and well, I'm gonna say, and not going through in clothing, because we know that raffle's available right now. Well, if you do the conversion and all that other bullshit, you're paying $445 plus $14 worth of shipping. So when the shoe retails for $350, let's just get something straight. $450 plus the $14 is probably still a legit good deal instead of paying the resale that's going to be on those motherfuckers.
Right.
That being said, if you don't want to come out of pocket for $445 plus $14 shipping as a principal, I understand that as well. But anybody who wants to help out Jalal, what's your size, Jalal? You need 8.5 in those?
I
heard
think
they run
so.
big. They run big.
I think 8.5.
Because if I get them, my true to size is 10, but I can wear 10.5 in some Ultra Boosts, like in the 1.0s, 2.0s. I would go with a 9.5 if I got those. So just to let you know, they do run big.
Yeah. When I was going to buy one of the other colorways, I was definitely looking at 8.5s.
Okay.
It's funny because the end clothing, even with the conversion, it shouldn't be that much. And they like snuck that thing in at the last second, like check this box to agree to pay. That's why I was confused when I told you guys, like, hey, can you go in for me?
Right.
Because even with the conversion, it shouldn't have been that high.
It shouldn't.
But
I think
they're just trying to get a little bit extra.
Yeah, they're just charging a premium price. And I think In does that every once in a while. I know I've been in a couple raffles where I won way back in the day, and I was like, what the fuck? That shoe only retails for $180. I think it was a couple Ultra Boosts back in the day. And I think they taxed me a little bit more just because of the hype or something. But In's usually pretty good, even with conversion. It's not that much. So I think
it'd be fine if they put it in like the advertised price, but they're advertising 300 euros or something like that, and then just at the very end there's like a little box that
they
says here's what you're really paying. I'm like, what?
They come and kick you in the dick. Yeah, no
but
doubt.
Misha's sending me some links already, so I'm gonna get into some of these raffles here.
Misha, send me some of those links as well.
I just want a pair of these, man. I don't even care what colorway. I just want to see how they fit. I want to see if I can style them. And I should even bother.
I think that one's the best. Most
get
wearable.
one of the other pairs.
Yeah, these are the Batman joints for sure. And they're not going to get too fucked up. You'll see some of the suede and leather get fucked up, and you'll see like that cage get scratched up. But I mean, you'd have to look really close for that shit. So this is
black looks it's very good looking, but it is the hardest to style, I think. Maybe white then black.
I'm going to call you Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman. Hey, Batman, I'm Batman.
Only if you get them.
Yeah, only if you get them though.
Oh,
resale could be close to $699. So end prices isn't bad at all. Dirty DJ said.
I don't know. They're kind of
take your 445 and shove it, fellas. I'll take it all day.
They're kind of already down to like the 5s, and after all the fees, you're getting like 480.
Oh, 480.
Dirty DJ actually says, "Hey guys, why don't you sign me up?" I think that's what Dirty DJ would say. Hey, sign me up for that 445.
Speaking of resale, Sam Meyer in the chat. Supreme varsity jackets seem to go for $398 usual retail. Dow, you said $288?
Yeah, that was my guess. But again, I don't buy varsity jackets, so I just wanted to throw a guess. But
that's what he says there. Sam, his name is Sam Meyer.
I'm sure Sam's correct. Yeah.
The jacket isn't, or he said that jacket isn't that bad. Going to resell for probably $500 to $600. So if you want to spend $398 up front plus the shipping, $500 to $600 minus fees, probably looking around $100 profit on that jacket.
I'm a little worried because Supreme's just not hitting this year. Like it's not, and I know we're going through what we're going through. I'm just not confident right now with Supreme, like with that type of investment and $100 profit. I would never ever be like, oh no, I don't want to make $100. Like I would never scoff at that or balk at that. But right now, I'm not in it to make 100. I don't think.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not during this time. Not during this time. But
I'll take it.
All right. Well,
the risk is what you're saying is risk reward, right, Dal? Like the risk of getting stuck with a $398 jacket versus $100.
Yeah.
Because he's saying there's a lot of risk there. You're not guaranteed you're going to get 100 out of it, and that's the most you're going to get out of it. He's saying,
right.
And that's just what Supreme's doing. Like, dude, even the North Face stuff, some of the jackets didn't do what they were supposed to. Coronavirus and Supreme's just not like popping like it used to, in my opinion. I'm just gauging by what I see, on social media. That's not worth the risk for me right now.
Oh yeah, I thought you were. So originally, when you brought up the Fear of Gods, I thought you were gonna clown on the Yeezy slides because I put out the bat signal to get the. If anybody has those Yeezy slides,
that's right. Forgot about that.
I thought you were gonna give me some shit on that.
Well, Thomas Cervantes just gave us $1.99 for Jalal's Uber after quarantine. Thomas Cervantes had the Yeezy slides. You may have to hit him up and see if he still has Yeezy slides.
Oh, really? Yeah, hit me up, dude, if you got him.
Thomas Cervantes?
Yeah.
He's been looking out, man. He's been looking out on like
slides.
shades and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he had the Tusi slides for sure.
That's bad.
Oops, I just disconnected from the chat. Hopefully it doesn't cut off our YouTube or anything or mess up.
I think we're still up.
Okay, cool.
All right, you guys got anything else to show? I got a little something here that's not.
No, go ahead. Let's finish it out.
Kinda,
Misha said 183,000 in the Teddy Riley right now, and they keep getting cut off though.
Dang.
But okay, go ahead. Yeah, we'll finish it up.
All right, so I entered this raffle. Have you guys used that app called Network?
No. What's that?
I have. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, so they have like different things that you can buy. They say like shop at the speed of culture or whatever. So it's like different cultural items. Sometimes there's shoes on there, but basically you enter a raffle, and I entered for the Ben Baller vacuum seal. So it's like a weed vacuum seal, I guess. And man, this thing is going for, on eBay, it's like $800 what it's going for. It retailed for $200. I'm trying to share my screen so you could see what it looks like.
Dang, so a come up, huh?
Look at that.
Maybe. So you see that there? All gold vacuum seal.
Oh, that looks sick. Huh.
So he released a all gold money counter sometime last year, and that one like sold out in like 3 seconds. Yeah, Misha, I hit on it. So I don't know when they're shipping it. I think it's gonna take like a month, but I did get the confirmation.
Dang, that's dope. That looks badass.
StockX going 550.
What was retail? Sorry.
200.
Woo.
220, something like that.
That's tight, dude. I think it looks good, man.
So I more wanted the money counter. I thought that was a cooler item. I'm not really gonna use the vacuum seal, so I'm definitely gonna move that, whether it's a trade or something.
You keeping the money counter though? Do a couple flex flicks for the gram.
Got to.
I don't know. I just thought the money counter was way cooler. Like, it's tight. All gold money counter.
I can see you on there, guy, with Cardi B in the background. I was born to flex, diamonds on my neck. I just born to checks, but it's on my tent. I like more than sex, but I don't know how that song goes. Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
You don't know that song? Money.
I thought you would be interested in the vacuum seal. Vacuum seal up all your weed.
I don't.
Or maybe Dow would, because he's storing his weed for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, man. I need a vacuum seal for this one right here.
Great call. Dow needs the vacuum seal for sure.
So,
dude, check out the random stuff I've been buying off of Amazon. 210 piece of the sour punch straws. What do you know about that?
Those are essential. They're sending you those?
Yeah, these are fire.
Those are essential though. You getting those quick? Dude, I tried to order some stuff on Amazon the other day. Everything's coming in May.
3 days on these. Oh, dude,
because it's not essential.
I hit on, you know what? If you guys aren't following it right now, there's some links that this company called Fat Kid Deals, which is a part of Fat Kid Mafia. Same guy.
Yeah.
If you're not following Fat Kid Deals on Twitter, you're fucking losing, because he sends out, as soon as Lysol wipes get restocked, when masks, even though they're supposed to go to health officials, if you don't have a mask, he'll send out links for that off of Amazon. And the links that he sends, Amazon ships like almost immediately. So that's where I'm getting a lot of this shit, because when he posts a link, it's a legit link. It's primed. It's ready to go. So Fat Kid Deals, man. Shout out.
Dude, I tried to click into the Teddy Riley chat, and look what just happened on my screen. Apple. I clicked into the chat. It showed 484,000. They were both froze on the screen. And then my phone just went black. And now restarted. And now this.
Dang, you got a virus.
iPhone 11 Pro too.
You got that coronavirus.
Teddy Riley.
That coronavirus.
That guy's technology game is crap. What is going on? By the way, Cervantes in the chat. Did Dow smoke? I tapped in late. He did smoke, but everyone's saying he needs to smoke on next episode now because he wasn't high enough the whole time. But that's a good. Yeah, he's got the vacuum seal going.
Misha just says, just saw 495K.
Nobody can watch. I don't even understand. This is a nightmare.
Jalal, what do you see on your pod stick thing, Chromecast, whatever?
I see 485K. It says on my screen. They're both frozen, but it says 485K. They're
485.
both frozen every time. Yeah, you have 485 as well.
Yep.
495. This guy's maybe it was 495 for a half a sale.
Dang, man, this is getting close.
All right, let's get out of here, fools. I gotta go take a piss. This says Texas.
Texas.
You guys have anything, or?
I'm all good.
No, I'm good, man.
All right, Dal. Enjoy the rest of your 420. Keep smoking it up. And
keep building immunity.
How do you feel? Good?
Yeah, I feel like towards the middle, I was feeling a little not loopy, but just like my legs and everything was just moving. Like I wanted to go do stuff. So maybe this was a sativa. I don't know. I don't know what the hell, but I was like, sativa. I was ready to get moving. You know what I mean?
I love that, dude. I love hitting just a little sativa in the morning and going for a run. Oh, it's awesome, man. It's awesome on a nice day. Get a little wind through your hair if you have it. It's nice.
Gotcha. Oh, you got to see my mullet. That shit is flowing. See that in the picture yesterday?
Yeah, someone said in the chat, how does this guy have a mullet and he doesn't smoke?
Fair enough. It's hard to argue.
Yeah, it was flowing, guy. I like
it. It was flowing for sure. All right. Well,
all right, fellas.
Let's get out.
All right,
yeah. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Shout out to everybody that came through in the chat for kicking it with us. And join us again on Thursday.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.